This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 902 for the week of Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. My name is Zach.
My name is Ed.
And on today's show, we have a very special guest. He is the translator for One Piece and Weekly Shonen Jump and Manga Plus. Stephen Paul is with us. How's it going, Stephen?
Very good. Thank you very much. Hope all of my fellow Americans have been enjoying their MLK Day. Hopefully they got it off. So yeah, have a good time.
We also have our anime recap host here in the manga recap segment for some reason, Sam Leach. How's it going, Sam?
Yes, our coveted anime recap.
As I always call it.
We'll get on that. Maybe we'll on one of our off weeks we can knock out the last 5 episodes of the season.
I'll say people have just also been extremely busy this January.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's never been so hard for me to figure out who's coming on the show in a particular week as it has like the last month or two, which I know is
it was holidays. It was holidays before this.
That's BS. We don't celebrate holidays here at the One Piece Podcast. I forbid it. But Stephen, I do want to say again, if you have not listened to last week's episode of the podcast, it's one of my favorites and like organically has been, not to use like that kind of terminology, but like a very popular episode, particularly on YouTube, and rightfully so. I did write Eiichiro Oda interview on it, but it is true. Like I'm not going to do clickbait if it's not true. How else would you word that?
Yeah, you get in trouble for that.
Well,
anything less than that is okay.
Yeah, YouTube loves to make sure things are true. That's but Stephen, thank you again for putting all that work into that. It was a really interesting segment for those who have not listened. If you have not listened, it is excellent. It is an excellent interview from Oda. Like, definitely the best one of those I've heard,
or at least the best one since like the first couple issues of the magazine. The first 2 or 3 issues they had a split up interview with Oda.
Yeah, but this one was like unique in so many ways. It was a real narrative in a way that none of his interview knows no really bad jokes.
Or remember the design deep dive?
That was very interesting, but it wasn't. Yeah, sorry, Stephen.
This is like an actual interview with where he's saying a bunch of stuff and going over his personal history and
I still like it as like a memoir. I guess I could have called it that, Oda's memoir, on YouTube, but whatever works. So please check that out if you haven't. There's 2 little pieces of news before we get into that, though. Please subscribe to us on Patreon at patreon.com/OnePiecePodcast. This month, if you subscribe at $12 or more, you could join our Sticker of the Month Club, which you could do every month. But the stickers this month from Steve are 2 of our Vegapunk designs. One is the Albert Einstein-y Vegapunk from, I'm afraid to look how many years ago that was, but maybe 3. And
with the tongue sticking out, yeah.
Yep. The classic Einstein for the wall in your college dorm. Now you could get it as a sticker. Everyone had a Vegapunk poster when I was in school, at least.
Right next to the Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah, the Vegapunk, the Vegapunk poster in that. Or you could get you could vote on that or the Matryoshka Vegapunk, which, if I'm pronouncing that right, but the little
Matryoshka.
We're going to talk more about Russia in a second, but it's those Russian nesting dolls, I think is the other term for those, of the Vegapunk.
That is
satellites.
an appropriate term for them, yes.
Is it? I think that's an appropriate term. Yeah.
I couldn't
tell if you were being sarcastic. I'm like, oh shit, what did I say? So yeah, please subscribe to us there. We also have ad-free episodes, extended episodes where we talk about like what episode image and title we choose. Those are always fun. We also have alternate art and a lot more. And a big thanks for last week's art from Kirby, was really excellent.
Oh yeah, very good.
Yeah, and this week Joey Weiser's doing the image as we speak at this moment. We haven't recorded any of the episode yet, so I have no idea what it's gonna look like or what it's gonna be about. But you do if you're listening.
We've only recorded the first like 8 minutes of the show at this point.
Hey, Yes. So yeah, check out Joey Weiser if you haven't. Two pieces of news. One is if you live in LA, and one is about the live action, which also has the same acronym or initialism. The live action trailer for season 2, or the newest one, came out featuring a lot of Baroque works. I don't know if any of you had a chance to watch it, or if you have any thoughts offhand, besides the Unluckies, which was my takeaway.
Yeah, it's pretty cute. But what I thought was interesting was Lyra Abova speaking English with a Russian accent. I guess much the way Iñaki does with his natural English, speaking English with a Mexican accent, which I think works for Robin. It's a bit sinister.
Right.
Rocky and Bullwinkle-esque, you mean, like that level,
or like
1950s level,
like
sinister.
a Bond girl.
Yeah, so we're really 1950s Nemesis is where Robin is fitting in your headcanon.
Yeah. It's kind of the challenge, I guess, for the live action team is because everybody who knows the show knows that like this is actually a very important character who is going to be part of the main crew. But like it's really important. Yeah, right. It's really important right now that she has to be a villain, and they have to lean into that and make the most of that while they can, because
it's fun, to be fair. Like Ms. All Sunday is a really fun character and mysterious at the time, I remember.
Yeah, people love that era of her because it seems so novel now of wow, this is like Robin as like a villain, like, you know, reveling in her wickedness and stuff. Like that's so interesting to see now, because we're so used to the opposite.
Oh, I wanted to ask, was Crocus in the trailer? We know he was cast.
He was he was in something. They've released
There's
something.
a set photo or something.
Yeah. He looked great. Yeah.
That's the guy from Game of Thrones.
I wonder what percentage of people who will be watching season 2 will like earnestly buy her as a villain.
It also had like a hard rock guitar motif, the trailer of the live action theme, which was fun. I mean, hopefully we'll have
which is already like pretty loud as hell.
Yeah, it is, to be fair.
Yeah.
I thought Ms. Golden Week looked excellent. Like I'm just looking at the trailer again. I think they've,
looks as young as she's supposed to be. Yeah.
How young is she supposed to be? I don't even know.
This trailer, and this was the same when the first season 1 live action trailer came out. Like it just like I can't unsee the like IGN April Fool's Day live action Zelda trailer vibes.
Yeah.
I wish I knew what you're talking about.
I know what you mean. I don't know what you're talking about.
I can pull it up.
I do. Yeah.
There are some parts that are, I don't want to say Uncanny Valley, because that's not what it is. It's there are parts that are a little, maybe CWE is the word, effects wise. I don't know how else to put it. But I mean, that's also kind of the vibe they're going for. They're definitely going for like the cheesy what do you call it? Campy-ish kind of style, which they should lean into, to be fair.
Yeah, I'll give them a lot of credit, like seeing all the character designs, like how close, like, you know, when you look at like a lot of the MCU stuff where, you know, you get that like feeling of like, oh, they're a little bit ashamed that they're based on a comic book, and it really feels like they have done a lot to make One Piece at least the wackier characters that we're seeing in season 2 here.
I actually am surprised we're getting the Unluckies. I like that.
I am shocked about that. I'm very happy. You know, I know Matt Cohen is out there somewhere, very happy about that. He's high and he's happy about that. That's two things. Yeah, I could say for sure. But yeah, no, I think what I saw looked mostly good. I try and be a little more lenient on special effects at this stage too, because it's a trailer and it's not done, and that's usually like the last thing that is finished. So I'm like trying not to judge that. But I am curious how
Mr. 3's power is going to look. I mean, Mr. 3, the actor, looks good in what we've seen.
I mean, I know Alex is a big fan. I think Alex is coming on a little bit later in the show, so maybe we'll
David
get his thoughts.
Desmelchin, he was in Oppenheimer.
He's a big get. I mean, there's a lot of big gets, I think, for the
Suicide
season 2
Squad or the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't know that.
I'm excited for that.
Where I remember him from.
The other piece of news, I guess, is just maybe for Steven and Steve, if he's listening, and our LA contingent, is that they're bringing back the One Piece Universal Studios Fan Fest nights, which, which is including. Yeah, go ahead, Steven.
I think you were about to say, like, apparently it's going to have like the water stage show or something that is One Piece themed.
Oh, in the Waterworld tank.
Yeah, and they had that.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it says it's in Waterworld in Universal Studios Hollywood. So.
Yeah, because that was the Kevin Costner's Waterworld stunt show originally, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
we don't talk enough about Kevin Costner.
The Kevin Costner's Waterworld themed, stage. That's the official name of it.
It might be. I don't know.
Jet ski stunts.
Yeah, so I think it must be at least related to the ones they do at USJ every summer. And those, I saw that one 12 years ago. Or 13? 13, Jesus. And it was pretty incredible and everything. I mean, it's only gotten better, those shows. And, I always recommend, especially if you like amusement parks and One Piece.
Oh, was that before or after you took the bar exam, Zach?
After. I mean, I did not go to Japan before I took the bar exam.
Just that sort of Damocles hanging over your head.
No,
like,
I only
I gotta go home and pass the bar.
I only planned an entire movie and trip before the bar exam. That was not.
And you took the exam at the Javits Center, right?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Thank you, Ed.
Thanks for that, Ed. Yeah.
Thanks for that, Ed. Yeah, that's.
Yes. And to go to the moldy old Javits Center.
That's the least awful part about that, but that's another story.
All the few times I've been there, it always smelled damp.
If the Javits Center would like to sue anyone, Ed is your man right now. I know you're listening.
Ed, the
dank. It's true. Yeah,
I knew people in law school who took the bar exam in New York. They got advice to take it in, I think, in Saratoga.
Yes, you're right. But having taken it in I'll entertain this tangent for one more minute, and that's that. So I took it, and I think I went to New York Comic-Con or Anime NYC right after that. And I just had such PTSD because it's like, that Macintosh commercial from 1984 with the big screen and they chucked the thing.
Yes,
that was the environment. That's what it felt like in the basement of the Javits Center with a really bad PA system. It was like
it's based on the adaptation of George Orwell's 1984 that came out in
1984. No,
probably.
George Orwell's.
I think. Yeah, with John Hurt, I think was in it.
The movie. Okay, we're really getting off track. But my point is, if you're in New York City taking the bar exam, don't do it at the Javits Center. How did we get there?
The Javits Center may or may not be a dank urine-soaked hellhole.
No, it is those things. It's also expensive.
Or a pee-pee-soaked heck hole.
Yeah.
Okay, Delaney, feel free to cut all of this. Now it's guaranteed to be in. That's
one for alt.nerd.obsessive.
That is to say that Los Angeles is getting the Waterworld version of LA, the live action. Okay, I'm done. My brain is gone. Ed, you killed it. It's gone. Any other things that I'm missing in general? Oh, those are in select nights, April 23rd through May 16th of this year. There are cosplay costume guidelines, so probably keep those in mind. And here's Alex. Let's see if he could join us in time because we need to ask him about that actor while we have him. Alex, are you recording already or no?
No, okay. I have not recording yet.
Okay,
my audition's opening right now.
Okay, well, so Delaney, cut at least most of this intro. Most of it's unusable.
Wow, you guys really
doing great.
Yeah,
doing great.
So far so good.
Yeah.
Huh?
So far, we already had a conversation about the dank Javits Center.
Conversation is a strong word.
The dank.
We did that joke already to Alex, but
great.
I was gonna ask. Are you recording? Well, we're recording on Zoom, so maybe we could catch this If not, we'll just cut all this out. But Alex, what are your thoughts on the season 2 live action trailer? And particularly, I know you're a big fan. I'm not going to pronounce his name right, but Mr. Three's actor.
Oh yeah, David Desmalkian.
Malkian? Okay.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to season 2 based on the one. I love that area of the story like a whole lot.
Oh yeah, we know.
Yeah, it's been litigated many times. But in particular, yeah, David Desmalkian is really great. He was Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad movie. Well,
and I've already said he was in Oppenheimer.
Yes, he is. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's sort of been that guy. Oh yeah, he's in like the Ant-Man movies. He's got like a Russian accent and shit.
Yeah,
he's a Weasley little bastard in Oppenheimer too.
Indeed, I only saw that movie once.
Oh, that's perfect for Mr. 3. Like the weaseliest little bastard in the series.
And I heard that he's a fan. Like he actually he's actually a fan of One Piece, and he was
We gotta get him on.
To play.
I should reach. I need to reach out to people. It's probably around time to
season
do that.
2 wise though. I'm really excited because the Unluckies are actually in it, and that makes me like.
We talked about that. Yeah.
Well, the fact, I think I expressed my disappointment at the fact that Chopper is basically Detective Pikachu, but now that I see that they're going to be actually populating the show with the little critters.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I think that was my standard when they first announced that Chopper was going to be there, and it's got to look as good, at least as good as Detective Pikachu, because it could look bad, but
no, I want it to look kind of janky, actually.
Yeah, we had this discussion.
I want it to look like weird Dark Crystal, Jim Henson bullshit.
Yeah, Muppet was that was our first preference. I think everyone here on the show, I think, agrees.
What episode number is this?
902. Anyway,
so
if any of this is
against the,
yeah, go ahead.
Never mind.
No, Sam, please. None of this is going in the podcast.
Okay, I'm recording now.
I never thought puppets were gonna work unless you're gonna make every animal a puppet.
Yeah, do it. Fucking do it. I dare you.
I think everyone should be a Muppet. I think a One Piece Muppet.
If your wig budget is going to be dog shit, then at least put that money towards the puppets.
Right.
I think the wigs still look bad.
Yeah, Karoo should be one of those dancing dragon things with
I've always said everyone should be a Muppet.
Horse costume with multiple people.
Everyone should be a Muppet except for Robin, and that would be the ideal adaptation. But here we are.
All right, so we're not actually. This isn't going to be used now, right?
No, it's going to be used. We'll see. I don't know. Why don't we move on into the manga recap for chapter 1170?
Super.
71.
1171. This is all completely unusable, so Delaney's definitely using all of it.
You guys are really doing great
on it tonight. Ragnir. Yeah, we're here. We're here.
Say it.
No, I'm not.
We don't want any more bears.
We don't want any more bears. That was messy and fun. As most that's our motto here at the One Piece Podcast. Messy and fun. This is the manga recap for chapter 1171, Ragnir. You could read this chapter and all chapters of One Piece as soon as they come out for free, legally, worldwide, shonenjump.viz.com, or if you're outside of the North American, I forget which countries have Shonen Jump, but mangaplus.shueisha.co.jp. I should not have gone off script. Ed, let's not go off script here. What's going on the cover page?
Yes, this is a reader request for Zoro being given a cat ear headband by a cat by Ura Nekoko. And it's exactly that. Zoro looking in his princess mirror, these two cats hanging around. Zoro with the face surly father who's letting his daughters give him a princess makeover.
This is just my face in all of my parental duties as they happen. So I get it. And I'm sure this will happen to me. There's no... I do want to say, actually...
Remember they did that with Ron Swanson on an episode of Parks and Rec?
I was just going to say it is the Ron Swanson thing.
Yeah.
But I'll secretly enjoy it, but I have to still give this look for the humor of the situation. But I saw in my son's pre-K photo, like, the usual class photo they have. And there is a girl there with the same cat ears. So this is going to happen to me. I think cat ears are really catching on, guys. I don't know if you've heard about these.
There's girls in pre-K just being like, I've got, I'm a cat girl.
Yeah. Not to dox anyone, but yes.
In all ways but physical, I'm a cat.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think cat ears are fantastic. What was there anything else you were going to describe in this image, Ed? Before I cut you off.
I mean, it's a very it's a whimsical mirror too. It's very Disney.
By the way, I love that the shirt says Zen, as if this is what he is trying to do here.
Yeah,
like to calm himself down. Yeah, it's aspirational.
And
That's
while
how I
holding
take it,
that's definitely Enma with the
yes,
shamrock.
He's gonna
hilt.
murder that cat. He's gonna murder the cat. The cat will be murdered. Alex, any thoughts?
Yeah, it's great. It's cool. I like it. It's cute. That's definitely Zoro's room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got the Japanese lantern and the paper
the
window.
Flowers and
Pretty princess.
It is a very pretty.
He's got
princess.
his little bottle for drinking at the desk right there.
Or
or
if people, or I guess it's Hiyori's room, right?
The conspiracies continue.
I think our listeners could agree that Zoro is enough of a princess that this canonically makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Like if I know one thing about our listenership is that we all agree that Zoro is a pretty princess.
He's a Zen princess. Apparently.
He's a Zen. He's our Zen princess.
Apparently.
I'll write that down.
Yeah. Rono Zoro : Zen princess.
So what is he doing with the sword in the photo?
Is that movie 5?
He's putting a cork on it because he's afraid that he'll slice the cat. I guess, I don't know. Can't see it. Movie 5. Yeah, the worst. The worst of them all.
The name of the movie was Roronoa Zoro Zen Princess.
Yeah, that's the one.
I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, he might be. I mean, he might like be polishing it with a rag or something. But it is interesting that you can really see his arm is really outstretched towards the end of the.
I'll wash myself with a rag on a sword.
Like he could be. I mean, I guess the wall is in the way, but like he could be like unsheathing the scabbard as a threat to the cat, or he's polishing it and he's just letting the cat put the ears on.
It kind of looks like the sword is like there's like a light glinting off of it or something by his shoulder.
I think that's just where.
No, that's just the cat's
like
tail.
the outline.
Yeah, that little safety.
Right.
Yeah,
so it doesn't interfere.
We've discussed before how I am also a fan of how to, instead of like in addition to the outline, there's usually like a glow effect to differentiate a foreground and background thing. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, assistants did a great job on this background or foreground or whatever.
No, another hypothesis. I think that maybe there's a cat on the other end of the sword, just kind of like hanging out, and he's giving him little scritchies.
Oh, that's nice.
I like that. Oh,
what if the cat? What if the cat has a twin, and this is a prosthetic Zoro, like that Terminator 2 deleted?
Oh my god,
it's a fake mirror.
Yeah, honestly, I think the cat in the mirror kind of looks like a Alolan Meowth.
It's a little bit. Cat. It's a mirror, but I.
Well, the reflection.
Oh, no, wait. Maybe he's operating Zoro like Ratatouille. See, look, he's like...
Oh, that makes more sense. That makes sense.
Catatouille, yeah.
Catatouille. There it is. We definitely have made that joke here on the show.
Catatoro.
That's like a hat on a hat level of...
Yes, it is.
But I the one last thing I want to say, I've already completely forgotten. I'm gone. Ed, what's going on the first page? Yeah,
Sure.
why don't we talk about that?
Is this Scopper Gaban speaking?
Yes, it is.
It is? Yeah, he said, I had a terrible vision, plain as day, of heralds entering forth from this castle and laying waste to the world until it was nothing but ruins. It's hard to imagine, with the way his wounds healed themselves, that there was actually a means to stop him. Does the treasure of Elbaf really have such power? Jarl?
Hello, do you have a sword in your head or something?
Hello, McFly. Not that I have heard, but it chills my spine to think of what might have happened had Loki not been here. And Shanks sort of silently looking on this conversation. And this is back to Harold speaking. Once I am in the Knights of God, dawn will come to Elbaf.
This is Shanks's inner thoughts.
His memories, yeah.
Shanks' memories. And then I guess this is Garling speaking to Shanks, who says, "Speak your desire, and whatever it is, you shall have it. You've been so deprived, my poor son." Like he cares.
Mm-hmm.
What do we have a name for this pose? Because this is like Oda's like one of his favorite poses of
Jazz
I'm gonna
hands.
help jazz hand pose. I love you, son. Look at my jazz hands.
Was that the here's grandpa pose?
Yeah. Oh, it definitely was
grandpa
also
time pose, yeah.
grandpa
Yeah,
time pose.
grandpa time.
Sort of putting his sort of arms and hands, like hands flat forward, arms up, and sort of like absolving himself of anything he hasn't done anything wrong.
No, I don't even think that's
Hey,
what it
I don't
is,
have a
but-
knife.
He's
Yeah.
doing like the auntie. He's coming to pinch his cheeks, like, "Oh, my little baby," with his fingers out, like.
I
You're
killed
so
your
cute.
mother. I
You
killed
were,
your mother, but
But you're cute.
Yeah.
We have a lot. What do we have? We have matricide, not matricide. I guess it would be. I don't know the name of the spout. That for
Spermicide?
spouses.
Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I don't.
Patricide?
That's
Is
a
that what you're
different
looking for?
thing. That's a different thing.
That's what he should. Yeah, he
Yeah,
should have
that's what
used
he should've,
spermicide if he.
yeah. But I guess is this Garling continuing here? He says,
Yes.
"Those miserable peons are not people. Forget what happened in the lower world." And then someone interjects, "Shanks! Hey, Shanks! No, stop it, Dad."
And it's the-
I before we go to the next page, I just want to note that I do really like the visuals. Like we've seen these places at the beginning with Roto. I think like the same like destructive, like what the destruction wrought that now we know by Harold. Also really interesting to see, I guess, the observation hockey vision of Gabon here. As to what could have been, I thought it was very interesting as well. I just want to point that out. I appreciated both of those. Sam, Sam.
Which is the thing you're talking with for Gabon?
The vision he had of Harold destroying everyone, and
I mean, he just talks about it though. I thought you meant that like it showed
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
No, okay,
that's just kind of,
sorry, I
he's waxing poetic here,
well,
Yeah,
no, but he said,
the bottom panel is what actually happened, but he didn't.
that's
That's what you've seen before.
Yeah,
You
this
can't
is
be
the
metaphorical
aftermath.
you can't be metaphorical about having a vision in a series where you could see the future. That's where my confusion came from. I apologize. So yeah, forget everything I just said. Delaney, you're not going to cut it out anyway. I don't know why I'm asking. Sam, go ahead.
And Scopper Gabon is embracing Shanks, who is gripping his branded arm in anguish. Scopper saying, that's just a bad habit again. Don't you dare regret your birth. And Sanji's arguing back with him, but why did Harold have to die? He was too pure-hearted to deserve that. If only I'd... And Scopper says, it's not your fault and you know it. You still have a role to play, Shanks. I guarantee it.
Shanks, that's your problem. You still think deserve has something to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
What's that from again?
I don't know. I've heard it somewhere.
Everyone's life has meaning, but you have to keep a level head. Basically, Scopper is giving Shanks the pep talk that Luffy's going to end up giving Sanji.
Oh yeah, in Whole Cake.
Whole Cake.
Yeah, or no, like because in Baratier, when Luffy's like he didn't. I guess Shanks hasn't lost his arm yet, but just like the pose is very similar, and he's basically like saying like you don't have to throw your life away, yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
We move on to the scene of Loki having just finished off Harold, and he's
Sitting crisscross
head low.
applesauce with his hammer at his side.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
head low, face in his hand. He's saying, "Is this what he gets for loving his country? It's a cruel joke." And then the close-up panel reveals the tears sobbing down.
Harold in a pool of
Loki.
blood, flat on his back.
Yeah.
Well, so
It's like a mix of blood and like the tear of his cape and stuff.
So I guess he's not quite Cell, where he only needs like one cell to regenerate himself. Like it's just interesting to see that any of him is left. I mean, the reason I assume that coat is over him is because there's very
it's
little
ugly under there.
Yeah. I'm sure there's just very little that remains. It's I don't know. It's interesting how his legs look fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Oda doesn't necessarily want to like get people trying to guess, like do the guesswork of like, well, if it destroys this percentage of the body, then it's a it's a fatal blow or whatever. I think the use of the cape covering him is a nice way to just kind of say like, yeah, he's dead. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but also it would be really ugly. I mean, there's like no doubt that this would be pretty like JoJo's level gruesome. I'm trying to think of
or like Rotten.com gruesome.
Ew.
I don't know that reference, and I don't want to.
Oh, that's old internet.
Old internet.
I don't like that internet or this internet.
Pose wise and composition wise, it's basically like when Katakuri was beaten.
Katakuri,
yes,
yeah.
It is,
and then Luffy covers his face so that he can save face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is kind of that like, and it's also a similar circumstance where it's like a respected ally, except this one is very dead.
Like letting the opponent keep their like an essence of their facade.
Yeah,
because it's like it's not yours to reveal to the world.
No, it's crazy. A squirrel did that.
Yes.
I mean, squirrels are vicious.
This chapter is entitled Ragnir, but it doesn't give any answers about what it is exactly.
Yeah, it is funny since Ragnir basically, features in like one panel in this entire.
Only in hammer form.
Yeah. And this squirrel looks like a squirrel and not a chipmunk. I know the few weeks ago when I wasn't on, we didn't wade into that debate, but I stand by my.
Chipmunks are smaller than you think compared to squirrels.
Yeah, I know. They're around here all the time. I know what a chipmunk.
Yeah, they have them both over by my condo in the backyard there.
Yeah, but like, okay, I'm not getting into this debate again.
Chipmunks are like 4 inches tall. A squirrel could be any size.
I have some
even 40 feet tall, like this one.
One of my favorite pictures I've ever taken is of an extremely fat squirrel, like I saw midwinter, just like the biggest, like happiest squirrel, like he has loaded up. He's ready to go.
I don't think squirrels hibernate, do they? They're surviving winter.
They don't know. Squirrels these days,
there was a squirrel outside on our deck earlier.
Squirrels these days, they commit a lot of regicide.
Anyone else got
they have to be
stories?
Yeah, I told you, regicide.
Well, I mean, that was the abridged version. The full version is that Nemo was like, ready to like pounce on it, but he's never been outside in his entire life, so.
Yeah,
I'll say
we'll never get to know that feeling.
I'll say I know what they sound like a lot more recently. I like when I grew up, I never really heard them chittering in that.
Oh yeah,
any other
Alex,
squirrel stories?
I gotta tell you, it's cold as fuck in Chicago, which means it's gonna be cold as fucking DC in a day or two.
Oh man, yeah. No, well, tomorrow it's supposed to be really, really fucking cold tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. I've joked about it, but Delaney, this one is just unusable. This is terrible. Who's next? Steven.
Okay.
More weather updates, please.
We're checking in from Mary Joa here, specifically from the chamber where the empty throne lies, and Emu is holding court with the 5 elders, and says, "That was an exceedingly rare ancient giant warrior, given even greater power and an immortal body. That was nothing short of a monster." And
Emu looking especially grimacy here.
Yeah, there's like a 45-degree angle to the.
I like this panel
to the pose here. Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
interesting. That was nothing short of a monster, and thou sayest it was killed? By whom? What is in Elbaf? And then they're looking up. Boy, they're really far away. You'd need some.
They always
binoculars.
are. it is crazy how far away they stand. It's like, I can't hear you.
Right.
I'm like 8,000 years old.
You know they can barely hear anything.
Yeah. And they're immortal. Their ears probably barely work. Unless those regenerate too, you know? Like, I don't know.
If Lao Ji was here, there would be a joke.
A great joke.
Yeah.
With a G.
And so the elders say, we shall have it investigated. Harold's abyss in Elbaf remains intact. They're suggesting, we can send more. Enough! It will only be the death of more knights. Performing the covenant inflicts a cost upon Mu as well. And, so Mu is breathing. So this is the first inkling we get, which you could probably have guessed since,
that they breathe.
Well, no, that there's a
joking,
limit to the power, since, ultimately, I think at the end of the day, Oda is like, well, regardless of the like affinities and like which thing should be strong against what, ultimately it will come down to like, okay, who has more, who has a deeper well of power to draw upon. So the fact that there is a finite level of stuff that Imu can do does make sense.
Was that Zombieland Rule 1 cardio?
Yeah. I feel something tells me that Imu does not get a lot of cardio here.
Yeah.
And continues.
There's a lot of stairs to get up there.
That is true.
As we discussed.
That is true. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
but
that flower
always like comes out from the back curtain or something. Like there's got to be an elevator behind there.
Like the wizard.
Maybe the flower room is like just off behind the curtain, so he just walks up the one set of stairs. So Imu continues. Harold chose to debase himself before humankind to connect his country to other lands and peoples. This made him a heretic. His are a tribe of warriors whose every drop of blood calls out for battle. Carelessly incorporating them into the government will lead to internal collapse. An ancient giant king of Elbaf who agrees to the covenant is a gift to Mu, the likes of which shall not be seen again. He was a king that Elbaf never should have had, and see what came of it. History does not lie. Our kinds are incompatible. Never forget that Elbaf is D. With a very menacing close-up on the undetailed face of Emo
Alex,
once again.
Do you want to make the joke at the end, or should I?
What? That big dick? I mean, I don't.
Elbaf is D's nuts, isn't that?
Oh shit! Damn it!
Although I think I see it. There's a very sinister sound effect here, which is like almost like teeth grinding.
Yeah.
Alex, I thought I could depend on you.
The five elders really want to drop these nuts, but they're like, you'll be mad. I can't do it.
Well, they might cut away. They might cut away right before that joke is made, or they walk away and they're like, "Oh, it was such a good time to say that." We've been waiting for a really good D joke for a while because it keeps coming up. They keep mentioning it.
Is D's nuts.
So first of all,
that's what D said.
Gonna let that.
It's been better.
Delaney cut that. Delaney. That's why they call her that.
Oh my god! It's been in front of our eyes this whole time.
I really like the what is it? We'll never get this chance again. It's like we'll never have a sap that's stupid again. Like there is something of that comes off in him saying, and him or her saying that. I also saw, we usually don't record a day after it comes out, so one of the good things is on Instagram they post the like the inked versions, like the super high detail versions, and that middle panel all the way on the left on page 7 they show that, like, I guess Oda inked just the middle of it and not the outline of Emu. I just thought was also kind of interesting. I don't know. When are we going to see them unsilhouetted? But like, if you go on the, I'll try and find the image to post. But you could tell like he like markered in just the middle part of Emu.
So it's like a photo of the physical page or something that he did.
Yeah, let me try and find
the
it. The
photo of the manuscript.
Yeah, it's of the manuscript, I think.
Was it just like where he like puts in the X so that an assistant inks it?
No, but it
or it's because it's left. Wait, I gotta see what you're talking about.
More, yeah, sure. Before we start spitting out theories, but anyway, while that goes on, also Stephen, I just had questions about the translation. of D's nuts, of that Elbaf is D.
Yeah. What do you suppose that? Yeah. What do you suppose that means? Because he doesn't say like, there is a D in Elbaf or something like that. Like he pretty much says it. And I don't know. You could argue that maybe, okay, if D is the mark of all of those who stood against, Emu and the world government in the Void during the Void Century, that maybe like D here is like, it is a use it in an adjectival way, like sort of like Elbaf is rebel or something like that, in that sense. I don't take it as like Elbaf is the D, like is canonically D, like the only D thing comes from Elbaf. I don't read it that way.
Right.
Kind of, yeah, but he, I think he could have written it in a certain way to make it sound like that. See, because he just says Elbaf wa D de aru, which I think is just like that, literally the way that I wrote it. Like Elbaf is D. There's other ways that you could, there's other ways that you could interpret D or apply it to other countries, but at least in terms of Elbaf, whatever D means.
Does Emu typically use that dearu? Sort of.
That's just
suffix?
that's just kind of like it's basically the way to say it is.
De amu.
Yeah, no. There's no like emu jokey, emu speak involved with that.
It's just sort of it's a little archaic, I think, from Degozaru.
A little bit, yeah.
Maybe that's what D stands for.
Then everybody in Wano is a D.
Yeah,
we've been saying this.
Yeah.
So Elbaf and Wano, yeah.
Maybe Elbaf being D it's like, was part of Joy Boy's territory or alliance,
that's kind of what
that's
you would
interesting.
expect, perhaps.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting way to phrase that. Yeah,
I should point out too, like I don't necessarily want to steal any of Greg's thunder, and since we have a break next week, I'll probably end up doing an SGS. If I had to guess, I haven't checked with Greg yet, but he's been posting a lot lately about theory related stuff, and he does post a good reminder, which is like, it's hard to tell how much of this Oda is being consistent with, or if he just kind of was writing this as he went along. But if you go back to like Little Garden and stuff, they straight out say that like Elbaf is also the name of our god. It's like the name of the combat god.
Oh,
His name is named
you're right.
Elbaf. And he's never really gone back to that or like explained that
interesting.
or made that explicit. So it's possible that like he's doing something there, but it's hard to say. Yeah, because he has like Warland is the name of the kingdom, but Elbaf is the name of the island. Sort of thing. He's done a lot. Oda has done a lot of very strange things with the name Elbaf, where he's used it to apply to several different things. And again, I'm not sure 100% if that's just him being inconsistent or if he has a plan for it. But it's curious.
And has Oda provided his romanization? Is it with the PH? Is that like the official, or is that
that was he didn't have one specifically, like he had
that's
to
just
ask.
what we've been rolling with.
Well, he basically they like the production group reached out to ask like, hey, what's the spelling of Elbaf? And so that's why and that's why the PH is consistent through the
the Elbaf is Fable backwards thing, I think, is just a fan thing that kind of gained momentum over the last couple of years.
I still like it.
That was
I still prefer that
I do too.
personally.
I do too.
I mean, even if it doesn't have like a meaning to it, it is a fun little like thing.
It's
but
kind
it's
of
not
fun,
a
but
big
then
deal.
when you think about it, there's literally everything else in One Piece is much more wacky and dreamlike and fable-like than Elbaf at this point.
So with the Elbaf thing though, it's very interesting because I know one of the things that are that has kind of been left on the table, and we're kind of reminded about it, I think, on the next page. We haven't seen the astral level of, and I'm going to keep mentioning this because I have to, contractually, but we haven't seen the top level of Elbaf, and that like feels like first of all, why is the king never there? Why is the king not on the top level? What's going on up there? Yeah, is it, or do we have like a Zeus thing going on, above them?
They haven't invented like oxygen machines yet.
Yeah, or that.
He needs a CPAP.
But like, if Elbaf is a person that exists, is Yarul I know he's the elder, but
he's the oldest giant.
They've confirmed that he is the oldest giant.
Yes.
Like it said that. Okay.
Living.
Well, there goes my theory. Yeah, there goes my theory then. I was gonna say maybe there's like
there is Yorl, but he's dead.
Yeah, Oda could always like show another guy and be like the real oldest man in the world. He could do whatever.
Well, it could also be like the ancient giants still live atop the very above that astral plane, and they remain alive much longer. Who knows? Anyway, those are just theories. Alex, go ahead.
Okay, so back to Aris Castle in the present day. Somebody says, I think it's Yarul. It says, Loki, this news will lead to great unrest.
Sorry, Alex. This is still in the aftermath of the
yes.
throne room stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it is. It is not in the present day yet. Never mind.
Yet.
Whoops. Sorry, jumped the gun there. Jarl is saying that this news will lead to great unrest in the kingdom. And Loki just says, I'm going out to see Gramps. I'll take all the surviving guards with me. Jarl asks him, what of Harold's wishes? And you see a little tiny flash of Harold saying, tell the people of Elbaf exactly what happened here. And Loki says, I can't tell them. Listen closely. Don't speak a word of what happened here to anyone. Of course, Jarl says, do you understand who they'll blame for it? And Loki says, oh, come on. It's me. How is that any different than usual? Do you really see a future where I become king and carry on my old man's ideals? But there are other ways that I can live up to them. I'll take some of the powers I have and go avenge my dad and his soldiers. So, as we've suspected for quite a while, Loki is, taking the heat, being a martyr here, which is, very smart on his part.
It's a sin eater.
A little bit.
I do like the. Do you see me carrying on the future of being a puppet to the world government? That Harold has instilled upon us all. I mean, I get it, but that definitely crossed my mind.
Yeah, I mean, he's talking about like the
idealistically,
right, the legacy of peace and like education and all those things, and he's like, yeah, is that me? Like, do you really see me doing that?
When I walked in here today, I was complaining about that crap.
Yeah, Loki stands for self-determination and violence.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's the Loki way. And other things.
Harold is more for peace and integration with the world.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we go back to Jarl here as we start to exit the flashback. This is since June of 2025.
Thank God. Sorry, I'm just
I'm not done yet. There's still more. A little bit. Jarl says, now you're talking nonsense, Loki. The world government's a colossal organization. It's a task far beyond anything you could imagine.
I like him sort of sauntering off with the hammer over his shoulder. Like a bindle.
Bindle. I'm going to take your hammer and go home. It is like a bindle. That's... we got Gabon and Shanks just giving a look here, like they know something specifically. I assume that Jarl is correct that that's going to be a really hard lift for Loki, even for Loki. Meanwhile, random people say, a disaster, terrible misfortune, Aris Castle's been attacked. Your Majesty, oh no, I mean half of your Majesty. Where did the rest go? And we cut to the present day. Now, Alex, please.
Thank God.
Were you holding your breath for 7 months?
Yes, I was.
Or you were holding that in for 7 months?
That it looks like they took down the gates or the ramparts or whatever.
Oh,
like leading up to it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
weird. That's weird. So yeah, we zoom back in. I do like this kind of almost cinematic thing. Like we zoom all the way back out and then back in again to the underworld in the present day. Loki finishes his 3-minute speech. And I'm sure that by the time you returned home, Hiruden, I had fully been transformed into Loki, the Father Slayer.
Or no, it's like, so I sailed right off the island. That's how he starts.
Oh, right. Sorry, I did miss that. And I thought it was a very funny thing. Because I'm like, oh wait, we're not in the flashback anymore. And this is the part I kind of wanted to see is him around the world, trying to get engaged to Lola. But I guess that's for another flashback.
Yeah,
of 14 chapters.
Loki, like Russell Crowe, fighting around the world.
Yeah, you're right. That is how that would work. I certainly did enough to convince them I was capable of it. However, I'm not so far gone that I'd celebrate killing my own dad. I just didn't want everything he did to be undone because of what happened in the end. Or do you still think I should have told the country everything?
And we can hear the dangling of his chains, the clank of the chains as he
that he still has on here. I thought they undid the chains. That's the thing.
One of them.
But no, now he has 3 back on at least. Yeah, okay. So yeah, okay. Hiruden is looking pensive, and Gaban is like, it's all true, Hiruden. I could have told you earlier, I didn't. And I don't know who this character is in the middle here. I don't recognize him from anything. Anyone know this character? Okay, well, whatever. We'll figure it out.
No, he's got that one scar.
Yeah. Was it on the other side of his face, I thought?
No, because everything's always on the left anyway.
That's true. Anyway, do you get
that's
it?
the man with the burn scar.
Oh, that's the man. That must be him. Do you get it now? I didn't want to have to dredge this all back up, especially in 17 chapters or whatever it ended up being. I should probably do that math. I do want to preface as we go into the next page, Sam, that don't forget when all this is said, Loki did murder his dad. It was done in, for good reason, but he did. Anyway, Sam, go ahead.
All right. And we turn the page, and Hiruden is saying to Loki, I now understand why Chief Jarl argued for your clemency and continued to protect you. In short, Father chose death over the manipulations of the world government.
Who can blame him?
And ever since then, the government has been Elbaf's enemy? How did they manipulate him like that? And then Gaban is sitting up in his... I was going to call it a bed, but he's like using a log as a pillow. I
remember in May, we made some really good jokes about how shitty that is. That he was like mortally wounded and they threw him on a bunch of logs. I do remember discussing that. Yeah.
And Gaban says, as a matter of fact, these newly arrived Holy Knights of God played a pivotal role in Harold's story. But Loki still doesn't exactly know what happened to Harold in the Holy Land. If you need more details, I can explain.
We've already seen all that, though.
Yeah. No, let's not go to the Holy Land. It is a silly place.
Yeah, we're getting this, split screen of Hiruden and his crew. Hiruden is saying, that won't be necessary for now, Mr. Ya. I don't need a reason to protect my homeland. Yeah, we've got.
We don't have time for another flashback.
I don't need a flashback to know what happened.
This is the most.
But Gerd, Rodo, Stanson, and Goldberg.
Yes.
The goalie.
Those are the other ones. Yep.
Yeah, you're good job, Ed. I know. I this is such a fourth wall thing. Like I think we talked about during COVID how like we have to put off the celebration thing in Onagashima was like kind of a fourth wall thing. This really feels like this is like Oda like, I know you want to hear this, but we don't have time for that right now. We have to get to the story.
Oh, we get to see Sanji and Zoro in present day as well, briefly.
Yeah, those stupid goggles.
Yeah. They're listening.
Grown up so much. They've grown up so much since we last saw them.
Yeah. Sanji smoking a cigarette as usual.
I think the goggles are cool. You guys are dumb.
That's just me. I'm just dumb. I'm the only one who thinks that. I think.
Zorro is a big Jordy LaForge fan.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. Go ahead, Sam.
And the handcuffs are clanging to the ground. Loki is officially free. Haruden says, if we see eye to eye about anything, Loki, it's love for our father. Allow me to apologize for that, if nothing else. Now fight with me, for Elbaf's sake. He's like, reaching out the hand. Well, Loki's looking. He doesn't really have eyes to look, but he's looking at his own hand. Trying to
There's blood
decide
on it.
how he feels. Trying to decide how he feels about this union. But Luffy's excited. His arms are up. He's saying, "Yeah, way to go, Loki! You can fight now." And then we just hear a yo, and then they are like, "Huh? What's that?" And then a big kaboom off in the distance in the mountains, just blown up chunks and rubble and from what looks like a lightning strike or something.
I like that he did draw like the feet with the boots just sticking up in the background.
Oh yeah,
That's like a meme, right? Like in Evangelion, that happens.
Yeah, kind of is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like visually reading them as like Onigashima horns or something, or like like I thought it was like the helmet's horns.
Alex.
So we find out that the thing that fell is one of them creeptids. Creeptids, is that what they're calling
Sleep
it?
Dudes.
Nice.
Sleeptids.
I like that.
Shit.
Creeptids is really good though.
It was close. Close. Anyway.
There's sleeptid creeptids,
Sleeptids, creeptids, dippity doo. So
That's the episode title. Sleeptids,
Do you
creeptids,
think-
dippity doo.
Do you think a live action Robin will call cryptids creeptids? Creeptids.
maybe. Blah. So we can actually see the real scale of this thing. I didn't remember or maybe pay attention to how big these things actually were, but yeah, even Loki looks tiny compared to this thing. It's the giant skeleton thing, the Draugr, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it lets out a big yow, and somebody goes, "That's it. That's what's raging above." And Chopper mentions, "There's a whole bunch of them." Must have been what's his nuts? Gabon. Who said
D's
that.
nuts.
Sorry, D's nuts. And Hyruden clocks it immediately. He goes, "Where did it come from? Is that a Draugr? But those aren't real." And Loki flashes a grin and says, "Sounds like the perfect warm-up. You go on ahead. I can fly up." Luffy goes, "Oh, what is that thing?" So Hyruden joins the rest of his crew, getting lifted up on their little boat. He says, "What's going on up there?" It's Goldberg.
That was
right?
your
Goldberg.
Maryland coming out, Alex. You said boat.
Oh yeah, but yeah, it'll come out every now and again. Yeah, Goldberg says, "Make it snappy, Hyruden." "Hey, Loki," says Stanson. "We used to think you're a real bastard who killed his own father. Sorry about that," they all say. And then there's a little asterisk. And they're like, "Oh, but only for this one thing. All your many other crimes still count." Very good. Very good.
Also, he did kill his father. So
He did.
Yeah.
It's
they're
true.
But he wasn't a
right.
bastard. I mean,
But he wasn't a bastard, yeah.
he was a
Actually,
bastard
Hyruden.
technically.
Well, no, it's Hyruden, I think. Well,
Bastard.
well, whatever.
Um,
They never got married, I guess, either of them. So
guess
yeah,
not.
yeah.
So-
Although,
he got married to what's her name?
Astrid,
That's
they
Yeah.
got married. Oh,
Yeah, they did get married, didn't they? Anyway, Loki has no patience for this. He goes, "Shut up and go. No one asked you to say all of this." And Loki is now free
Someone
of...
should be saying that to Loki, honestly.
Yeah, no one asked you to say all this. Well, he didn't say all of this. The narrator said the rest of it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
The narrator said the stuff that Gabon would have said. God, that's confusing. Anyway, Loki is now unshackled completely, and he goes, "Rah!" this is amazing. I can move again. I'm free. And Luffy is very tickled about this and gives a little hee-hee.
Yeah, you know that Loki's a real monster if he can get up from being chained after, what was it, 6 years? And like he's like, hell yeah, I'm going to jump around it, like, instead of just screaming in agony at his muscles finally moving again.
Yeah.
But by the way, is Luffy making the same pose? Or is that or is that a Nico pose looking kind of thing?
He's just running up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what's happening. He's running up the leg.
Loki's leg,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought they was like copying him, which was cute, especially when you're that tiny, but
he's
whatever.
taking the femur highway.
Yeah, he's running up much like a squirrel would.
Oh, why? I thought we got past this.
The Draugr on the last set of pages here, on the Draugr screams in the background, and Chopper is looking quite intimidated by it all. And Gabon notices him, and he's like, hey, ship doctor, I appreciate your help here, but I'm concerned about my son. As Chopper he's now escalated to doing the scream, like the eyes bulging out and the waggly tongue scream. And then he's like, oh, right, sure. And so, cut, smash cut to like 30 seconds later or whatever it is. And so now Sanji is doing his skywalk thing with Gabon. Chopper is urging him to be nice and gentle. And Sanji's like, yeah, I know. Weren't you going to stay here? So I think Chopper is just taking this opportunity to escape the scary.
Hitching a ride there. Yeah. I also like Chopper's reaction, like, oh, right, sure, your son, with tears in his eyes.
Yeah. It's
Chopper's
very quick.
for the children.
It's a very quick change of gears for Chopper.
I thought the tears in the eye. Oh, I guess I thought it was like related to the story, like what we had just heard from Loki.
No, it's because he's screaming at the Draugr, because they haven't seen Loki do his thing yet, so Chopper doesn't realize they're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
So Loki looks down. Luffy is now perched on his shoulder, and he's like, "What are you doing up here?" And Luffy laughs and says, "I want to see how you fight." And so Loki leaps into the air. He's doing the big baseball swing with his hammer. He says, "All right then, show off your power, Ragnir." And Ragnir, not in squirrel form, in hammer form, does its little trilling sound. And then we get a quick succession of panels here where he's kind of rushing up on the Draugr, and then the hammer once again, like as we saw the last time, it's kind of doing this little shh sound. Whatever power it has, it is summoning. And then, much as we saw at the climactic moment in the throne room, Loki has this really cool follow through with the hammer as he smashes it. The what?
El Kabong. Quick draw McGraw.
El Kabong. Okay, I got you. Yes, but this time there is a big crack sound effect, and it appears as though it has instantly covered the Draugr in ice, as Loki shouts, "Nibelheim!" And Luffy is shocked at seeing what he does, and then we see a close up on the Draugr seemingly frozen under the ice, and Luffy's like, "What?" Shocked by the effect of Ragnir,
and equally shocked that the manga is off next week.
Ooh.
I'm surprised because I thought Nibelheim burned down.
Haha. Yeah, I guess let's talk about this, because you said there was one. Let's cut off all the questions that people asked us.
We got a bunch, I think, of this. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the kanji for the attack that Loki does here is, what is it? It's kind of like first world, or the original world, or the primordial world, which is a reference to the Old Norse realm of Niflheim or Nivelheim, which is kind of like, I think it's translated as like a world of mist or something like that.
The
and that's
land
kind
of
like
wind and ghosts.
Yeah, a little bit like that. It's it's kind of like the place from which everything else came originally. It's their version of the the before there was the world, there was the light or whatever. There was nothing. That's kind of what Niflheim is, and it in Norse. I guess the romanization of the Norse would be like Niflheim, and just to preface this, like I'm of the opinion like all the stuff that I'm going to talk about, this is all just like different romanizations of the same general concept. So like we're all just kind of splitting hairs on this, but just to explain how I ended up with this particular spelling, the katakana, the way that you would normally write Niflheim or Niflheim is like Nifuduheim or Nivuduheim. So you would use a f sound or a v sound, and at least according to like Wikipedia, for example, the Japanese page for Wikipedia for Niflheim. But Oda spelled it with a b, so Nibuduheim, and that is like it could be just like that's another version that someone has at some point used in a reference book to spell Niflheim in Japanese, or it could be that he was looking at other stuff. Who knows where Oda got his spelling for it, but it does. It is also the exact same. Sam was making a joke about Nibelheim. The way that I spelled it here is also the name of a town in Final Fantasy VII, which is pretty memorable. There's a very pivotal scene that happens there. It is the same katakana for that town as the one that Oda used in this. And I think also like if you look on the Japanese Wikipedia page, it also says
maybe it's one of those things from like foreign mythology or foreign culture that has sort of lodged in the Japanese sort of collective consciousness and reappears occasionally in various things.
Right. I mean, like, look, like all you have to do is just get a book of like Norse mythology and flip through it, and you're going to see a bunch of weird, like, cool sounding shit. There's a lot of imagery and kind of metal RPG type stuff that shows up in there. So obviously, people like to draw from that when they're making their fantasy references and things like that. So basically, there's a bunch of different ways that you can spell it, and depending on like which other European culture it's being the lens that it's coming through, like if it's the English version or an Anglo-Saxon version, or if it's a Germanic version, or various different forms of that, the name of this thing from Norse mythology. So basically in the end, I was like, I'll just go with the spelling that is like the closest to the one that Oda used in katakana. And so that's why I ended up with the Nibelheim for the spelling here.
But
I don't know.
I made my crack. I thought I didn't know that there was like a dispute over like how it should be spelled.
Okay.
Sam, this is from Final Fantasy VII?
7.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I had the urge to look through Oda's the deep thoughts that Greg compiled way back in the day, to see what Final Fantasy references might, because I'm like
he did mention.
He did.
Yes.
I was going to read one, but go ahead.
I know there was an author comment like back in like 99. 99.
Wow, you're good. So
well, yeah, because you know which one it's about, Zach?
8.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy is getting in the way of my work, he said on April 12th, 1999. We can't have that. Thus, I developed a breakthrough plan to deal with the issue. I'm going to do my very best to beat the entire game. Yeah, that's the ticket. I mean, but I know it's for 8, but to be fair, he also comments on Final Fantasy 9 in 2000. He talks about Final Fantasy Advent Children in 2005, which he really enjoyed. Right? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. And I know our friends at Quest for the Best recently reviewed that. If you want like a modern take on that, it's interesting. He has mentioned Final Fantasy multiple times, So I would not be surprised if it was a callback, maybe even specifically to that. He's a gamer, we know that, especially of the 90s.
There was a really funny example. This is probably months ago now, but there was one chapter during God Valley where Figureland Garling's name, like in the raw Japanese, was misspelt as Garland, which is like the iconic first boss of the series.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that is
That's
a Final
right.
Fantasy boss. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty clear he is a fan of the Final Fantasy series, and 7 isn't that like one of the most highly regarded of the series?
Yeah, that's like the most famous one.
Yeah.
Well, and they've been putting out these remake,
Right. I actually did know.
Yeah,
I mean,
actually,
I'm not like
our friend
Brodsky
Maddie
with
has been
that.
posting on Blue Sky a lot of Final Fantasy VII remake comics lately.
Right.
And I know Brodsky, I think, exclusively plays Final Fantasy 14, and Jill, and
so does Jill and Greg.
And Greg, yeah. So we have a good contingent here.
There's a giant Final Fantasy 14 contingent in the podcast.
Of the podcast,
yeah. I will also point out that like I don't tend to get too precious about like I guess like sort of localized variant spellings of the same name about stuff when looking at like references to things. I remember, I don't know if I've told this, I think I may have told this anecdote once before on the podcast, but this is kind of like my go-to like reminder whenever I start getting a little too deep into this stuff, is way back when during the Water 7 arc in the manga. Back then, like the only place to really talk about One Piece regularly was the Arlong Park forums. And I remember at the time, I was super involved with like doing text translations and stuff. And I think that may have even been like back before there were regular leaks where people were just taking the jumps off the truck. So it could have been true that like at that time that my translations were like the first thing that ever popped up online on a weekly basis. And so there was this big debate in Water 7 of like, what is, when they talk about this place, Enies Lobby, we hadn't seen it yet. We didn't know what it was, but it kept coming up in the dialogue when they're in Water 7. And so there was this debate of like, what could this mean? Like, what is it referring to? What is the reference that Oda is drawing from? And, there's the thing, the Ennead from, the old, like the Iliad and the Odyssey. There's the Ennead, which is another, like epic work, or something like that. Anyways, like I remember getting
the saga, Greek
saga.
saga.
I remember getting into this big argument with a guy who was like insisting. He was getting very pedantic about it, of like, oh, if you're gonna spell it anyway, like it should be like, it needs to be like Aenead, because that's like the Roman spelling of it. And if you look at the construction in Water 7, it's clearly modeled to be more like Venice, and therefore like it should be the Italian, like the Roman version of this name, and all this stuff, and trying to get like super specific and into the weeds about this stuff.
It sounds like that annoying French guy who used to post on the AP forums.
Yeah, well, you'll have to be more specific, but like they and then we get to Enies Lobby, and it's like, no, it's Enies, which no one had ever expected, or no one had ever been spelling it that way. Like it was just a complete like, oh, Oda just did whatever he wanted with this. And that's kind of like my go-to for like anytime you start getting too specific about, well, why did you spell it this way? Why didn't you spell it this other way? I always look at it as like, man, you never know what Oda is going to do with it. And so I tend not to be. That's why I don't get too precious about.
Was there ever an explanation for the name?
Raftel versus
Laftel. Oh, Raftel is a good name.
Of Aeneas.
Aeneas Lobby. Now
no,
I'm like,
I don't
no.
think he ever had
who's
any
Eni?
comment about
We don't
it.
know.
Right.
I think this reminds me a lot of Shabandi, right? How like the Portuguese spelling is it's Shabandi. Is how it's spelled.
Isn't the
proper like Portuguese way, but it's pronounced Shabandi.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, well, and that's because that is how the Portuguese Sabao is Chabon in Portuguese.
Yeah, no, I know
Chabon
we here
bubble,
pronounce I know we here pronounce it like that. But although I pronounce everything wrong all the time. But I think the Funimation / Crunchyroll dub, they do Sabaody, right? Or am I wrong about that?
Yeah, they pronounce it as if it was a Japanese word almost.
Yeah,
they say
interesting.
They say Shabandi, don't they?
In the dub, they say Sabaody.
They'd say Sabaody.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I would. Oh my god. But I don't think we should be so precious about these sorts of things for exactly
I'm not being precious. I'm being correct.
Yes, you are. Okay. But I mean, the guy who is bothering Steven is technically correct too. But
you still pronounce it Annies. You don't pronounce it Anid.
Yeah, but you don't spell it like that. I mean, like maybe it's the overthinking things. It's like sometimes Oda just finds a couple of letters and thinks it's cool, or finds
Mary Joie is another really great example of this.
Oh, Mary Jersey,
tremendous.
Mary Jersey,
Jesus,
yeah.
Mary Joie. Well, I mean, I get like Mary Joie, like bourgeois, like it's
I get it.
That makes sense to me. But it's these Jouis.
Is that what it is?
Yes. Yeah, Sam. Yeah. I mean,
I thought something about rocks or something.
Yeah. In short, I'm like one of those people. So like you know how when you go to like a wiki page for a character and it's like this character's name is based off of this thing and it's not actually spelled the same way as that thing. I'm the kind of person that's like, oh, that's cool, that's fine. Like I'm totally cool with that.
Yes.
As long as you can still see where the reference came from and you can still trade that as like a fun little fact. Like I don't really necessarily care what the actual spelling is.
Like Legoshi is almost Bela Lugosi.
Right.
From,
and
Beastars.
Bulma should be Bloomers because it's named after underwear, but we call her Bulma instead, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's something in the past 17 years of podcasting to contradict what I'm about to say.
We said the exact opposite.
Yeah, I'm sure we said the exact opposite at some point. But I am generally today of the opinion that there isn't always a good reason or a correct reason for the way something might be spelled, especially since there's a ton of like, I mean, I think of Tite Kubo is like the exemplar of I'm going to just use Spanish and English words in ways that make no fucking sense. Just because I like the way it looks and sounds or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I think Oda, and I'm going to say most writers who are writing something about a foreign thing that they are not personally, aware of or knowledgeable about, they're gonna take some creative liberties and make it their own kind of thing. And you might never really know the true etymology because there might never be a true etymology to it. All that said,
that was all. Yeah, I mean that was an interesting like opening to this discussion. Like I really don't have that strong of an opinion about Nibelheim. I hope that didn't come across as like defensive or something like that. I just kind of there was an interesting way to talk about a tricky topic that comes up a lot in localization.
Since we're talking about Nibelheim, to slightly talk about more what we're talking about here. So with Ragnir, last time we were talking about how I know Greg. It was the episode I was supposed to be on, but I got sick. That there was supposed to be I'm sorry, whether or not it was electricity and that the sound effects, the bara bara wasn't quite there. And here we're getting ice. So like, what is happening with Ragnir? What does it do? Do any of you guys have thoughts on that?
I did.
Okay, so
I will just say I did find it very ironic that it was like Ragnir, and then there's like no answers as to what the fuck Ragnir is doing.
Yeah.
Yes, true.
I mean, I think it's funny that the hammer's called Ragnir and Rox is a character. Ragnarok's.
Oh, I like that.
I think that might just be happy coincidence, but
yeah.
So I guess it's always been ice, or was it thunder? Because I thought that he summoned thunder or whatever when he got one leg unshackled, right? And he hit the tree.
He did. It was definitely lightning. I'm almost positive.
Yeah, so it's like he can do lightning eyes. I think like maybe I wonder if he has all the powers of all the different Norse worlds or whatever. Like it's it's such a like I bet it's a really loaded fruit. Like
well,
whatever
remember there's two involved potentially.
Oh yeah. Well
there's the
Squirrel
and there's him.
Yeah, and there's Loki.
I think Loki is now Nidhogg at this point because he said I can fly up and
Oh
fucking
yeah,
dragon.
I didn't talk about that.
Completely forgot to mention that.
Yeah, I should point out too, since I think there may have been some debate about that too. So he says fly. So the word, the verb tobu in Japanese.
Oh, tobe. Yeah. Okay.
It can mean fly and it can mean jump as well, which is very confusing. I know.
Like how Superman used to only jump.
Yes.
And there's so he used like the kind of the generic fly kanji, which I think you could use to refer to either flying or jumping. There is another kanji that specifically means jump. So when they say tobu and they use that kanji, you know it means jumping. Like it literally has the inside the kanji, it has the kanji for leg or foot in it. So it's very easy to tell that like, oh, this is like the jumping jump. But he didn't use that one. He used the kind of the more, I don't know, just kind of boilerplate like regular fly/jump kanji. And so I went with fly just because like even if it does literally turn out to be jumping, like if he's talking about getting all the way up the tree, he might as well be flying. Like he might as well look like he's going to fly if he can jump that far. So that's kind of why I was
in
like,
English,
okay, let's just say fly.
You can say like you look. Yeah, I feel like you could use fly in like a.
When Gandalf said "fly, you fools," was he talking literally?
But you could use it hyperbolically. I feel like when you're like, look at him fly, like as in jump really high.
Right.
Yeah, I'm being pedantic. Let's go around the room and talk about the chapter. Alex, thoughts?
Yeah, I for one am glad that the flashback's finally over. Let's see. Starting from the back and working my way to the front. Boy, I love Loki. He's really cool. I can't wait to see him fight. I can't wait to see Luffy eventually get into his height, and then they can tag team, do fun combo moves and stuff. I'm getting ahead of myself here because of all the delicious possibilities that we may see. But this Loki doing a freezy move on the Draugr is kind of interesting. Looking forward to seeing what comes next. Flashback wise, I think this was a fine little wrap up. This bit with Emu is quite interesting. We get to see that Emu actually does have like limits to his power, his or her their power, I guess. Like saying that the covenant inflicts, it takes a toll on Emu as well. And the huff, very fun. That we kind of get to see like this seemingly unflappable force of evil actually be flappable to a degree. Shanks grabbing his tattoo in pain. I can't tell if that's just like a reflex of him just hating where he came from, or like it burns for one particular reason or the other. But either way, great chapter. Let's keep it coming. I'm excited to get back into the swing of things.
Sam.
I like the chapter, although the stuff I like the most about it is the stuff that I think is like just already very familiar in One Piece, just like the honorably like letting your reputation go, like Loki telling the group like, oh, don't tell anybody what happened here. It's kind of like Usopp at the end of the village, or like we were talking about Katakuri,
Zoro, nothing happened. The literal
nothing happened. Just like this whole there's a lot of drama in One Piece of where a guy is allowing himself to look like a more evil person than he actually is, and it's like secretly this burden he's carrying all these years. So I'm hoping that those plot lines can go. There can be some fun twists on those. Otherwise, it definitely feels like there's like he knows that there's the flashback's been going on too long, and like there's some stuff he's just gonna like save for later. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see
You
where
mean
this
Loki
goes.
or Oda?
Oda.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, Oda's like, okay, for now we'll just like wrap this up, and then we'll like fill in the details, and when it's appropriate.
Steven, thoughts?
Yeah, I've been just to continue on the Loki thought. I was in the past week or two, I was kind of doing all of the SBS and the revision stuff on volume 113, which towards the end of that volume is where the flashback starts. And so I was just, recently rereading, all the stuff about the birth of Loki and his childhood and a lot of the scenes there. And, he obviously, he disappears from the flashback when it's time for Rocks and God Valley and all of that stuff. And so it's easy to forget. But when you go like right, from one to the other, I think you really see it is a very rich portrait, piece of characterization that Oda has been doing with Loki, where, even as a child, the combination of so many factors, like the very first thing that he says about him is, there's no creature more worthy of pity and more forsaken than the one who's forsaken by his own mother in the moment of his birth, when she sees his eyes, and the fact that he's like constantly searching for tenderness that is never given to him, and so he only learns like to lash out, and then you see him like when he's like he beats up Hyruden to try to like make himself feel better, and then he sees Hyruden getting all of this sympathy and everyone giving him these dirty looks like, oh, you're so messed up, and then we see, and then like the next scene was when he throws himself off the tree again, trying to to commit suicide. And so I think that like that picture of Loki fits so well into his reaction at the end of this too, that as Sam said, the taking on the burden and not being able to like understanding how he looks to other people, and kind of not being able to be comfortable in his own skin with what he's done and stuff. It's just there's so many layers of that onion that are going on with him, and I think it's really interesting. I really am very excited to see where this the rest of this arc will take him. I do think it's kind of funny when I know it's supposed to be a serious moment, and considering some of the goofier like conspiracy theories about like actually evil Shanks, it's very important that we see Shanks really regretting all his quote unquote true background and stuff like that. But I do think it is funny the way that he like squeezes his arm, because it is a very like a Chunibyo, like kind of like 13-year-old with delusions of grandeur sort of thing of like, oh, my arm, my cursed arm, oh, it's taking over me, like sort of thing, where the way he grabs it, he's
Ashitaka.
Yeah, like that, but more of like the the 8th grade, the Chunibyo is like the 8th grade delusions.
The 8th grader who saw Princess Mononoke.
Yes, exactly.
To be fair, Oda, I think, always has the playground in mind as to like,
right.
So like that would not surprise me if like literally he was thinking that it's like, oh, this will be a great one to act out at recess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Obviously we didn't get all of Loki's story. Like, we were joking about talking about the Lola stuff doesn't appear here. And it would be, I think, definitely, if we already didn't have one diversion too many, that definitely would have been true, to get that on top of everything else. But it's an interesting thing to keep in mind for the future. But yeah,
I think SBS is where that's going to probably come into play.
You might be right. Yeah, you might be right. Unfortunately, I would really like to see that, but
yeah.
I don't know if Oda would be interested in paying that off unless he actually does the like Big Mom and maybe Kaido, pulling themselves up out of the volcano or whatever at the end of when Wano's walls come down or something. But yeah, we'll see about that. Right now, it just feels like, okay, now the only real mystery, or the thing to be answered at this point right in front of us is the question of like, okay, what are these two? What are the powers of the hammer, and what are the powers of Loki? And how are they going to work together? But it seems very cool. I'm very excited to see what happens next.
Yeah, I'll try and keep it short. It was a really good chapter. It did the impossible. I think Oda does do a really good job that at the end of the very end of a flashback, you're like, oh, I wanted a little bit more of what you were doing there. And he does somehow, after this flashback, do that for me a little bit, because I mentioned why. Like, I do really want to see Loki's adventures abroad, but if we're getting that, it's not now, which is fine. I think he was successful in narratively making you like kind of want more, but not giving it to you, which I think is his goal. We mentioned the stuff with Emu being very interesting. He had to have a limit to his power, so it doesn't surprise me that we're getting it here. I truly wonder what it will take for Oda to unsilhouette Emu. And like, does it at this point? I feel like it needs to be something pretty big. Like it needs to be
like when Luffy sees him or something. Or...
Yeah, I guess that's a good. That would be good.
That'd be good.
We'll see. Also, does he ever leave Marijoa? The Marijoisie.
Well, especially too, like if all the stuff about like Lily, if like the theory that Emu might be in Lily's body or something. So if it looks like Vivi, then having Luffy or one of the Straw, someone who would recognize Vivi in
Nami.
those features. Yeah, right. Yeah.
They have a thing.
First they saw Shanks and they're like, oh, Shanks. But
that's
quote
true. It
unquote
would be
Shanks.
kind of the same thing. Yeah.
Now we're getting quote unquote Vivi.
Yeah, that's
maybe
a
play with that. Maybe get two Vivis and two Shankses in one room.
I mean, I guess it being revealed in a flashback would be kind of disappointing. So I don't know if disappointing is the word, but like narratively a little disappointing, maybe. Anticlimactic, I suppose. But I do like the idea of Luffy being, and I could see Oda really insisting on that personally, like of being the moment. Or she has the silhouette fruit this whole time, just as I've said since the beginning. Or is a giant plush that just looks like that they've already been selling.
It's got to be the moment that's appropriate to take the character from being like an idea to a character.
Yeah, we're starting to get there.
I feel like we're really testing that boundary at this point. There's been a lot of Emu dialogue.
Yeah, that's the thing. At this point, Emu is a character, I think we could say. Like, has characterization, has emotion, has baggage, has history, has all the things you'd want in a character.
I spent a lot of time thinking about like
face.
What's the moment we're going to see Doflamingo's eyes was what I was wondering during all of Dressrosa.
To be fair, though, I always thought that, but the joke was very good. He takes the sunglasses off and there's another pair of sunglasses under there. That's
Naruto
fantastic.
did it first.
Yeah, but who remembers Naruto? We only remember his son, Boruto. I'll let that one.
Boruto's dad did it. I screwed it up.
Yeah, you did. You ruined it. You ruined it, Sam. You ruined everything. Let's just do the episode again. Delaney, cut the whole thing. My point is, I did really enjoy this chapter. I really enjoyed the flashback material in this chapter. And overall, I think especially with what Steven said, it like, I get why God Valley was there, and this is the last time I'm going to get to bitch about this or whatever word you want to use. I understand why God Valley was there. I understand why he chose it here. I understand why it's important pretense for the stuff with the Holy Knights and everything. But damn, does it take away from Loki's story in particular. Like, it is such a powerful, well-done story that is just intersected by a different powerful, potentially well-done story, depending on your opinion there. Like, actually intersected by 2 because we have Harold stuff, which is important here, obviously. But like the Loki characterization, I think, is exceptionally done, but narratively hindered. If that makes sense. Like it is, if you just isolate the Loki story, isolate that footage, I think you really have like a top tier One Piece flashback there. Like it is emotional, it is raw, and it is also nuanced. It's like it is also in some ways unique. I don't think we've had like quite this kind of character in One Piece like really be explored in this, like, to this degree. Especially like the childhood and the parenting and the suicidal stuff is just very powerful, but is kind of diffused by the other things going on. And again, since this is my last time talking about it, and also since I have very explicitly and often said I am saving my opinions until the end of the flashback. So here we are. I think individually all 3 stories, God Valley, Harold, and Loki, are all very well done. I still have some qualms with how they were put together, but I'm gonna give it a reread some point soon, because I'm curious how it runs together in volume form, or I should say in several volume forms.
Yeah.
Because this is, I think, gonna probably, so what, it started at 1152, I think. So it's almost 20 chapters of this.
Yeah, well, and they did, what wasn't it, the like a piece together question the other week that was like the next one is going to be confirmed a volume without any Straw Hats and without Luffy in it, because it will be entirely flashback, so it will cover, it will span 3 volumes.
But Luffy will be on the cover probably.
Probably,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
What can they? Aren't there like sometimes like at least in America, there's like laws of like you can't put a character on the cover if that character's not actually in the show. Like I know Funimation's talked about that. They can't put a character on a DVD cover if they're not in that batch of episodes.
Oh, well, that's yeah. That might be a Toei thing.
But all I have to do is just like include one of the like the Jump covers with Luffy on it in the little inserts and.
Yeah, are you kidding? Luffy is going to be in that volume. Yeah, Luffy's going to be in that volume, just not in the story. He'll be in the SBSs. He'll be in the advertisements in the back. He'll be in the, he'll be in everything, but not that.
He'll do a fresh cover with just the flashback characters, and then they'll just slap Fishman Island Luffy staring at you. In
you're the one I hate. That image I really hate that is constantly being used. Yeah.
That exact expression, but he's also like doing a T-pose.
That's better. At least it's a different image.
Yeah, that would be different.
It would be different. He looks so stupid in that image. Okay. That's all I have to say. I think you guys really covered it. But I wanted to give a little of my final thoughts on the flashback. I'll give a more thorough one at some point in the future. It's
yeah, we should definitely revisit this flashback. It needs more time.
Yeah, like that. I say that with everything, and then do I go back sometimes, but not always. But like, it's like it hit all the important points. It's just like structurally, I'm like, did this really do its characters justice? That's kind of where I'm landing. I think Alex, you probably have some like stronger opinions about it than me.
I think I've exhausted
about it. Yeah,
I've exhausted myself talking about it. I'm just ready for real Elbaf now.
Yeah, me too. The god Elbaf who lives in the astral plane.
Boy, I bet during the production for season 2 that got flagged, and I'm sure like he now remembers that. I do wonder if like,
you think so?
I wonder if Elbaf is just another name for Nika or something like that.
Oh, season 2 of the live action you're talking about.
Yeah,
I don't know why I thought the anime, because people are calling it that for some reason.
Well, didn't we have some theories like when they were doing season 1 that like Oda was making a lot of references to like Usopp and Syrup Village and stuff like that? Yeah,
he did. I 100% think you're right about that, Alex. Like, I think maybe that is even one of the reasons we're in Elbaf when we're in Elbaf. is because it was probably very top of mind. Even then, they were probably doing season 2 stuff.
I think that might be coincidental, but
Yeah.
it definitely helped a lot.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it is at least partially coincidental, but I think the depth of what we've seen in Elbaf so far, like for example, the what's the guy's the fake philosopher or whoever, archaeologist who they quote at the beginning,
Louis Arnaud.
Louis Arnaud.
Yeah.
I bet you that was there because it was probably very top of mind for Oda because he was probably going back to that material a lot. Like
Maybe.
that's very. I think that's very likely. Just
Sure.
because, yeah, and he also like. For season 1 of the live action, like Kuro was in a bunch of stuff for the first time in forever. Like he remembered that character existed. Like
Right.
that is 100% something. We're probably
Or
going to
like-
see a lot of Alabasta stuff, like
I remember
referenced.
him
Vivi?
drawing. Well,
I mean, yeah, we're getting into the VV stuff.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, I think it's all coming at a very coincidental point in the story. I think, like,
Yes.
Vivi is very clearly an important figure now because of Lily, right? Lily.
Yeah.
Well, not even that she,
Dee Dee.
but her and Wapple and the escaping from Mary Jo and
yeah,
her dad dying.
Vivi's always
It's
been first and foremost in Oda's mind.
Yes.
As we like near the end, this is when like all the stuff set up at the beginning is going to start paying off, and you know, like we're going to be feeling the member berries.
I think for
Regardless of whether the live action was being made.
I was going to say, even if you whether or not you love the live action or not, I think it has really been a boon generally to the manga, because it has definitely been some good reminders to him. I think it has like made Oda go through that material with much more of a fine-tooth comb than he would previously have. But Zoro,
Do you think
a little more bloodthirsty, a little less funny than he used to be. That part, sorry, Sam, what were you going to say?
Do you think Oda like goes back to the old volumes and thinks, "Damn, this is good"?
Yes. Well, he has them all on his desk, or he used to when he could fit them all. But
Yeah.
Give it enough years, and you can read it as a reader.
well, like as an artist,
I mean, I'm sure
though-
now. Like, no, I'm sure he reaches for one, opens it up, and goes, naruhodo, and continues to uses it to draw like whatever he's drawing. Just I feel like he uses them for reference material more than anything. But I do wonder if he has like a specific, like, if that's his editor's job, right? To have an encyclopedic knowledge of the manga as well.
and his
you would hope.
assistants probably.
You would hope, yeah. That's the
To be
that's the
fair,
goal.
probably-
that's what Greg is for. That's his job, right?
They probably got
mean-
a little brain trust up there.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Oda texts Greg like, "What did I say here 25 years ago?" Anyway, that'll do it for the manga recap. Why don't we do some piece together?
All right.
Sleeptids, creeptids, dippity doo. This is the piece together segment where we take your questions, comments, and theories and decide whether or not D. Laney will be cutting this. And since she is one of the D's, the answer is whatever the opposite of what I would actually want to happen. Let's start with Sam.
Start off with, are you teeing me up for this
I'm
piece?
teeing you up. Yes. Did you
Our first.
hit the tee?
What?
Did you, or what do they call it in golf? Did you hit the ball? Sam, what's
Yes,
happening?
Zach. I'm in the process of hitting the ball. Our first disc piece this week
Cut
comes
that.
from
Yeah.
Delaney, help!
Someone help!
Kids help.
Sam, please.
our first. Come on. Okay. Our first disc piece this week comes from King Doji, who says, "Hey OPP, can you believe Lola turned down this sweet baby boy? Loki is my favorite of the arc, a great mix of comedy and tragedy. My question today is about Emu. Do you think that due to the cost of all the covenants Emu makes, that they'll end up like this when finally revealed?" And they show a screenshot from SpongeBob SquarePants, the famous chocolate episode with the
like a
wrinkly worm grandma thing
Oh, God.
with sitting in the wheelchair.
MCP
I mean-
pants.
That's almost.
So I think whenever I see that thing,
that's almost what happened to Saturn, right? Like, kind of.
yeah,
Yeah,
he became all
pretty much,
gross,
and then he just
disgusting.
turned to dust. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
Well, he turned into a skeleton.
I kind of wonder if, like Loki somehow not winning over Lola, like when she is so desperate to be married. I wonder if this is kind of like Hancock and Luffy sort of thing, where it's like the one person who is immune to like the ravenous like power. So like Lola will marry anyone except for Loki. He's like the one person that she won't pay attention to.
I was interpreted Lola's marriage quest as like I want to pick my husband, like because before it was like a political marriage that like Big Mom was setting up.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that the Whole Cake Island actually did a good job at subtly like explaining that. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Or whatever we were talking about. Yeah, Sam, what's the
everybody got their comments in on Wrinkly Worm Grandma?
Yeah, I think that absolutely is possible.
Our next dispiece this week comes from Reverse iCat, who says, "Hey there, 3-sword cat boys. We have 3 hints in this chapter as to what Ragnir and Loki can do. The most obvious one is that they can freeze stuff, which is wild considering all the lightning powers. Secondly, Jarl doesn't think Loki's fruit is that powerful. Third, and most importantly, they fly now? They fly now."
How did we
I am really glad
make that joke?
Joey made it in the Discord earlier, and I didn't think to repeat it. And you know what? Kind of glad I didn't. Yeah. It just reminds me of the worst Star Wars thing.
Alex,
ever.
I have to say, so I've never seen Rise of Skywalker.
It's bad. Don't watch it.
I'm not going to, but my first exposure will be the what do they call them? The stage versions that they've been doing.
Yeah, those readings,
live shows, the live readings that they've been doing.
The Dynasty typewriter readings.
Typewriter. Yeah. That is, I have decided that will be my first exposure to that movie.
That's funny. That's good.
I have decided because I'm not watching
Have they started doing the new trilogy yet?
Yeah, they recently did The Force Awakens. I haven't watched it yet.
The Force,
but they did that a few weeks ago.
I don't think it's out on YouTube yet, but they just they just recorded that recently. I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be weird because that feels so recent, but I guess it's been a decade.
For those of you listeners who remember 20 minutes of bullshit, which I think you can still listen to if you want.
We've had comments on it recently of people saying they love it. Yeah.
Steve and I, every time they did a new Star Wars movie, we would get on and we would podcast about the latest Star Wars movie, and we were generally pretty jazzed about them all, except for Rise of Skywalker, where we were like, "Yep, this was a thing that happened." And when Steve came, I think to MagFest that year, he was like hanging out for a few days, and I'm like, "You want to go see Rise of Skywalker again?" He goes, "Not really." And I'm like, "Yeah, not really." I'm in agreement. Like, I've tried to rewatch it, and I can't. It's just so stupid, and so like just it tries to walk back everything because of loud chuds. And my advice, Zach, if you are watching the Star Wars sequels at all, just hit Last Jedi and just end it there. Because
I did. I think Last Jedi is actually a really great ending note. I have problems with that movie too. But I think that ending,
it's a gorgeous film. It
is 100% one of the most gorgeous. Yeah. Rogue One, like just look wise, if I had muted, Rogue One and Last Jedi are like probably the most beautiful looking Star Wars films. Mm-hmm. Rogue One has its issues, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty cold on Rogue One after watching Andor.
Andor is
this could be a whole podcast. I'm sorry.
No, it can't. But what I wanted to say, sorry, is it's just because this person made a stupid reference to They Could Fly Now. No,
they
but
fly now.
The Last Jedi, I think, not to spoil a almost 10-year-old movie for people, but like the ending with like the next generation of people. Yeah. I think that's really beautiful.
It's a fine ending.
Well
I
done.
think it's a fine ending. Yeah.
And also the whole thing about, I think it has a great theme. Like in the, not John Williams always hits it out of the park. Don't get me wrong, but I meant like with failure and like that kind of thing. I really admire what it was going for, even if it doesn't execute on it super well all the time. The movie, like, my main issue is that I will always think of The Simpsons, the Sideshow Bob's Last Gleaming, the slow march of them trying to catch the plane, as exactly the plot of that movie. It just annoys the shit out of me.
There's a couple of things,
and I know it's stupid and small, but that really annoys me.
There's a lot of holes, but what Star Wars movie doesn't have bits that you can cinema sins the shit out of? Like, 100%. Just fucking...
No, it's not a cinema sin, though. It's just a stupid... Yeah. It like, affects the whole plot is the problem. Like, it is, like, kind of pivotal that it... Because they also go off and then come back and they're still chasing them. It makes no fucking sense to me. It really
It's dumb. Yeah, it's dumb.
It's dumb.
But guess what? Guess what's dumb? Most Star Wars movies are dumb.
I agree.
And I say this as a lifelong Star Wars fan.
I agree.
Most Star Wars movies are dumb and have dumb things.
I love Star Wars as much as I love Star Trek, that has many stupid things as well.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, don't get me started. Although I'm in my like, I'm on only my 10th rewatch or something of DS9, but wow. I don't know if that's true, but it probably is. What was I gonna say? Oh, my last thing about Star Wars.
Somehow Star Wars discourse returned.
You know what?
Yeah, I don't even know what we're even talking about.
No, I was just gonna say that I think that it is a good movie overall, although it has some really stupid, enraging things. But they could fly now. What was the question?
You're not gonna ask me what I think of Star Wars?
No.
What do you think of Star Wars, Sam?
You were free at any moment.
Speaking of flying, looks like Loki has one of the 5 devil fruits that grant the ability to fly, along with Pell, Shiki, Barrygood,
the question was in the middle.
Marco,
we
Buffalo,
stopped.
Fujitora, Stussy, King, Sasaki, Kaido, Momonosuke, Stronger, Luffy with Gear 4th, Buggy if we don't count his feet, Miss Valentine when she uses her umbrella, Robin with her wings technique, Dofi when he uses his string on clouds, Kuma for 3 days, Vanderdecken the 9th by riding stuff he throws, Big Mom using homies, Conjuro when he draws birds, and basically every Logia. So other than those, Loki is one of the only 5 flyers.
Oh man.
I'm so sorry, Reverse iCat, because that question was amazing.
That was
and
really
we
good.
interrupted it with a really stupid rant about Rise of Skywalker.
Jesus.
Kuma for 3 days is really funny because it's like it's technically a limitation.
Yeah.
I wanna argue, by the way, that like Buggy, if we don't count his feet, I'm like, well, we're definitely gonna count Buggy because I'm sure Barrygood has very similar powers. Like I bet his feet have to be on the ground too or something. Like
you forgot Barry. Oh no, you have Barrygood.
Barrygood's on there. Yeah.
The whole five different types of flying things was that is like a Hall of Fame. Like, why did he write that?
Yes, that is. I think we talk about how Oda is like an expert at retconning in that he could fit anything in like a hole that he made himself. But God, that one is bad.
No, in that same chapter, I think like it's real. There are 106 devil fruits, right?
Oh,
like
yeah,
out of the 106
like
devil fruits, there's 5 that can fly, and I'm like, at this point, we've definitely seen at least 106,
at least,
right?
Yeah.
If you count every single like every Zoan type, like naturally there's going to be one for every animal now, and every like subclass of animal.
I'm not going to do more than 4 or 5 birds. Like.
Yeah. This series isn't going to go on for another 2 decades. I mean, this isn't going to be an issue.
I'll be done by 40, 50 volumes.
Now, there's only 2 birds in the world already.
I think I would really respect the live action to double down on that mistake and just throw it in there for no reason.
God, that'd be funny.
I would personally find that very funny.
What if they update the number?
No, I want them to keep the same fucking number and it make no sense.
There's
in
only
retrospect.
30 devil fruits that can fly.
You know, the one thing is, and I don't know if I like it, Pell will definitely die in the live action. I think I could say that.
Are you
100%.
You know who else is gonna fucking die?
He's gonna get fucking gibbeted. Yeah.
But somehow he'll return.
No, Pell's dead.
Zoro will jump in just to cut him in half.
Pell's
dead. Zoro does love doing that.
And I would put money down that Igaram also dies.
Ooh.
Wow.
I think I don't know.
No,
Maybe.
Igram's
I can
going to
see
die. Igram's going to die because what do you
I guess,
need
yeah,
Igram for?
the characters
fair,
who
that
don't
makes
like
no
come back and be
sense,
plot relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they killed Mary.
Yeah, Mary.
They did kill
Yeah,
Mary.
if they kill Mary, Igram is definitely fucking dead
And that was
meat.
Greg's doppelganger, which is really crazy that they did that.
I do think.
Yeah, sorry.
I do think it's very funny, like to consider that for all the little things that they changed that probably drive Greg crazy on the inside. That like the one thing they would be super anal about retaining is like the bizarre statements that Oda makes about double truths.
I know that would be great. Mention that to Craig next week.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's book
I would also say that if Galdino didn't become such a big part of Buggy's whole thing later, Mr. 3 would definitely also be dead fucking meat
with the floating. That's a great
super floaty
retcon.
wood.
The super floaty.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of my favorite.
Well, no, I love the super floaty wood because then they use it to get back up to the surface after Fishman Island. See, it all connects.
I forgot
there's your example of the retconning.
Yeah. But Oda's so good at that. Like I admire his ability to work his way out of a hole like that. But wow, he does not do that there. He really worked himself into a hole he could not get out of. What's the next question, Sam?
You should have Robin come up with like a technicality for I meant like
I was lying because why should I tell you the truth of the situation? I was your enemy. What's next?
Yeah. Slate of Hand, aka Slayer King. Hello, my fellow Avengers. How silly of Haruden to say that Loki and him can see things eye to eye. Loki is clearly much taller. What a goose. Anyway, since it's January and the new year, I think it's maybe time that I change for myself and start to see some positives in characters I don't like or don't vibe with, barring the fascists, of course. So what are some positive things you can say about characters that you either don't like, hate, or are indifferent towards? Have a great week.
I think the only fair way to do this question is for other people to tell. So like Steven choosing for Alex, or they have to.
Sure.
Because if we choose it, it's not.
Of characters that we hate?
Yeah. So Alex, do you want to give me one?
You have to give each other a hateable character?
You have to give each other a character you know the other person hates, or you think.
Okay, well, Zach, I know that you really hate
I know who you're gonna say. Well, there's two choices.
You got a couple choices.
You got two big choices.
Yeah. Well, I want you to say something positive about one, say.
I respect that he didn't. I respect that he didn't care about his looks when Sanji tried to change his face, and that he was proud of himself looking like that.
You're really putting on your dad pants for that one.
I like when the noodles came out of his nose. I always
wear dad pants.
Yeah, no, I mean that's why I love him, Sam, because the noodles come out of his nose.
Who's the character Steven really hates? I'm trying to remember, because we could go around clockwise.
Probably Vanderdecken.
Counterclockwise. Vanderdecken is an easy one.
I like Vanderdecken too.
What is wrong with you people? You're a defender.
He's funny.
He's fine.
Yeah,
he's funny.
He should be in
he's
jail.
A funny character.
He should. Well, he's dead. Hopefully.
I don't think I've heard you actually wax negative about a character unless it was the entire Impel Down arc. Like if you could take how wordy Impel Down is as an arc and transform it into a character.
Who is like someone? Well, I could do someone universally hated. Absalom.
Yeah. What's a good thing about?
Out of context,
you can't say that he's dead because
that would be
that's an escape.
Yeah. What was a good thing about Absalom?
Yeah,
it is a tough one. It's a tricky one.
One.
Like it's tricky to come up with something that's actually like meaningful or interesting. I don't, man. That's really tough. I think he makes a really he makes a really funny face when he's trying to kiss Nami. That doesn't sound like a very good compliment.
I mean, like if you can like Vanderdecken because he's funny.
No, but
Well,
that's
I
true.
guess-
He does make a funny face.
Are these
It's very
compliments
Yeah.
we're trying to give?
kissy face.
Are
Yeah,
these
like,
compliments
what's-
we're giving them personally, or is it just compliments
Yeah,
about the character?
I don't know. I guess okay. Here's the thing.
What's an aspect of the character that does spark joy?
I think that his like obsession, like his whole thing of like, I'm gonna kidnap Nami and then I'm gonna put her in a dress so that we can get married in the chapel is like a very like Looney Tunes kind of a dream scene, and I think that is actually quite funny and dare I say it, maybe even a tiny bit endearing, even if it is horrifying when you think about it in any other context.
It was a horror themed island.
Yes,
so
that is
you know
true.
what's funny?
Fantastic taste in dresses too.
I think
Oh,
like
yeah.
it
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
funny if instead of like a puma or whatever the fuck, Absalom was like a cartoon wolf, like the Fleisch or
Yes.
Oh yeah, that would.
the Tex Avery wolf,
Yes,
like
yeah,
how he has to like hit himself in the head to stop being horny. Like,
yeah, it would be
Like,
very on the nose.
you got-
yeah, fine can.
You can imagine Jabra doing that like really easy.
Yes, 100%.
I mean, yeah. Jabra will never enter this category because he is a universally loved character
Mhm.
who is
that
really
true?
fun.
I like him. I don't know if
Jabra's
he's
great.
universal. Okay, Steven is just
yeah.
for Sam. Yeah.
Let's choose for Sam.
Mm.
Who does Sam?
Do I
not
do I
like?
even?
I,
Yeah,
don't, I
do
feel like
even hate
Sam is the
characters?
opposite of Zach, where
Yeah.
he has like all of his obsessive characters, but I don't really know the ones that he hates.
My obsessions
Yeah,
are all
like
the
if
ones I hate.
if a character makes me feel something, I probably
yeah,
interpret that as liking them.
Yeah,
Right.
like let's go
Like
through the
Caesar or
characters you
whatever.
like. Caesar
Yeah.
Clown.
Koala.
Koala. No, I'm just trying to,
Caribou.
Caribou. That's
oh,
what I was trying to
Caribou.
think.
Yeah.
He loves Caribou.
Should we
I'm
make
like-
Sam say something bad about Caribou instead?
Ooh, I like it. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. What
Ooh.
don't you like about Caribou? Actually, I do like that twist on that question.
Because I'm pretty sure you like that he's a big creep.
it's
Yeah.
true.
He's just a greasy
Sam
creep.
loves creeps.
I like
Trademarked.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. What's a good thing that he does that does not make you interested in him anymore?
That's it. What doesn't spark joy in what Caribou does?
I was disappointed that he didn't have like a hero moment at the end of Wano somewhere.
That's not
Uh,
really.
I
That's
mean,
not
he could've.
him.
like
That's like aspirationally.
Yeah, he was a bad
disappointed.
villain.
Wow. The amount of time you're thinking to say one bad thing about Caribou is too
I know.
long.
I just keep thinking of things I like. Like I love when he's in the barrel and he got Frankie
Okay,
like
that's
sneaking
the
up on
one
him.
good thing, and it's not him. It's Frankie.
It's Frankie.
Well, what about when Caribou first shows up and he's just like, I'm gonna kill people?
Well, because
with a
that's
shovel.
when I first started liking him. Because I love villains who just like smile all the time for no reason.
What about his?
Oh, One
what
Piece
about
is
his?
perfect
And,
for you.
and his whole thing was like he's like weirdly religious while he's like murdering the
Oh.
Marines. That was pretty
Oh,
interesting.
That
Yeah.
part was cool.
Oh, yeah,
and
that never comes back really, does
Yeah.
it?
yeah, no.
That's the
I
one
don't
good
like that
thing
it
I would
doesn't
say
come
about
back.
Caribou.
Okay, there he is. I don't like that. Oh man,
He should be like trying to like impress Blackbeard by like citing the Bible or something.
there
Maybe.
you go. All right.
Okay, what's the next question, Sam?
No, what about
Oh, we
me?
didn't do
You're
that?
Oh,
leaving
we
me
didn't do you,
to try
Alex?
here.
I'm sorry, Sam.
Yeah.
Go full
Sam,
circle.
pick one for Alex. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, pick one for Alex. Who does Alex not like?
That we've already mentioned Absalom, so I don't like Absalom. But
Who does Alex not
pick
like?
somebody from Dressrosa.
No, there's yeah,
Ding,
it's
ding,
true.
ding.
Anyone from Dressrosa would do it.
yeah, I don't like
Gladius?
most- I like Gladius actually.
not that one.
Is Ryoboshi one of the Fishman brothers or one of the Merman brothers?
Oh, I don't care that much about.
No, I
Ryoboshi.
think those.
See, but
he's fine.
this is the challenge though.
Yeah.
The challenge is to
have
say
like
something nice about.
a
Sugar.
character that like it's
Sugar?
really hard to have an emotion on. And I'm
Ryoboshi.
specifically talking about like the longer like with the orangish hair.
Oh yeah, or the long
skinny
one.
one.
I like that one.
What about Sugar?
Sugar's fine. Like who I really don't like in fucking Dressrosa is Diamante. I think Diamante sucks. I think Bihehe sucks. What's his face? Treble.
Oh, Treble.
I think
I
Treble
love
sucks.
Treble. I love Treble because of the episode titles that had come out of Treble.
I mean, sure. I hate. God, they're all fucking Baroque Works ripoffs. They fucking
Okay,
suck.
pick one of them. Pick one of them, Sam.
I like Lao G. I
Lauji's
don't like
probably
Dellinger.
one of the best ones.
I think
Well,
Dellinger's a
Steve-
lazy character.
Have
I'm
you
sorry,
discussed
Steve.
this with
Broken
Steve?
Heart, yeah.
I'll say that. Yeah, Diamante. Let's go with Diamante
All right,
because
Diamante.
Diamante is
You
probably my
chose
most
your
like.
own.
Fucking hate that guy.
I'll I'll choose it for you, Alex.
Okay.
Diamante.
Interesting.
Say something nice about Diamante.
Fine. God, what's a good thing to say about Diamante?
This is a good game.
Mhm.
I think that Diamante's zest for being sadistic makes him an effective adversary. Like,
What a
right?
backhanded compliment. I love it. It's like if you were saying it to someone's face. It's so funny. It's like what is it? The Home Movies episode where they're in therapy and they're trying to say positive things. It's exactly that. It's exactly that.
I think that, like,
I think that he's a great go-getter.
Well, no,
really,
a really good-looking go-getter.
Really,
And now
that's
get me a
what it is.
lemonade, will ya? Yeah, I think that Diamante, like, I think he's very sadistic towards Rebecca, and like, because he knows how to like push her buttons, and that makes him like a real piece of shit. But he's not the reason I don't like him. I think he's just a stupid design. I think that he had a really kind of
We know why
fun
you don't
quirk
like him.
that got abandoned really, really early on, where.
Oh yeah,
it was really confusing. It's a very confusing quirk that he had.
It is a very
and
confusing.
It's no wonder that Oda abandoned it. Where he's like, oh no,
The fake humble
fake-
thing or whatever he was
yeah,
doing.
I don't
Humble
fucking
bragging,
understand
basically, yeah.
what the fuck it was. Like, and everybody was in on it. Like, I'm like, this is stupid.
Sam, what's the
like,
next question?
It is weird that he's like the
has to wait.
he's like the six-fingered man. He's like this like secondary antagonist who, but like you almost like don't even like think back to that as being like an emotionally pivotal.
I take back what I said about Dellinger, but I think Dellinger being a fishman sucks.
He's half.
Oh, I
think
forgot
that's-
about that.
I think that's lazy.
I think he was
fishman.
half fish. He was half of that
The fighting
fish.
fish.
That was the fighting fish.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. Like, okay, fighting fish. A fish doesn't exist in real life. All right. I don't know. I'm just move on. I don't want to complain about Dressrosa
Sam,
again on the
Sam,
podcast.
Sam, go ahead. What's next?
Our next disc piece comes from Big Mike, who says, "Wow, what a flashback! With all the social issues that were depicted, how can anyone say One Piece is not political? Unfortunately, your podcast is a daring liberal antidote to the conservative propaganda Oda has been inserting into his story."
Boy, here we go.
Where Loki, who is modeled after Kid Rock, wants to preserve Elbas' patriarchal warrior culture after Harold submits to the woke mind virus of the world government, whose gender androgynous leader, Emu, wants to ban problematic historical content from the Void Century and take away its citizens' Second Amendment right to
I
own
didn't know
ancient
they had
weapons.
amendments.
Oh my God.
therein.
While the series constantly retains the values of the Showa era and be anti-revolutionary, anti-feminist, and anti-democracy, and just be about men who look like bodybuilders fighting each other with Luffy promoting gangster ideology.
Sorry.
Anyways, how would you summarize the flashback in 3 minutes or less?
Wow.
We got some funny disc
That's a
pieces
funny one.
today.
Good
That's
disc
very
pieces this week.
That's really good.
Real sharp.
Unless it was
I like it.
serious, in which case
3 minutes or less? I
No.
think you could definitely do it. I think you can do it in like one sentence.
Well, which
Loki
of
Sad
the three
baby,
flashbacks?
God Valley, stuff happened.
Yeah.
The end.
Loki, Trash Baby, God Valley, Harold, go bye-bye.
It doesnn't have to be said like a
Yeah,
baby.
It's not even a sentence.
We only have 3 minutes, Zach. Time's ticking.
No, we basically just do that, and then we spend the rest of it trying to promote our woke ideals.
I like Harold Woke Mind Virus is very funny.
Yes,
It's
yes.
really, really good.
That is.
The world is awful. What's next?
Our final disc piece comes from SNP, who says, "Hey, OPP, this question is for Steven.
Oh,
It's about
well,
his-
we
oh,
answered
I-
this.
Okay,
yeah.
I think we've answered these questions.
Yeah, this is the
it's about
Niflheim. Yeah.
Okay.
It's about his choice in choosing Nibelheim and not
Yeah.
Niflheim. So I do some quick research and found out that Nibelheim is more of a Germanic myth, land of dwarves and treasure, while Niflheim, Norse myth, land of frost, ice, and mist. And then somebody, let's see here, he's referring to another user in our manga chat who mentioned
Final Fantasy 14. It's in 14 too?
somebody in our chat named McLovin shared
everything's in 14 now.
shared that the kanji for Nibelheim is more likely related to Final Fantasy 14, where it's being used for the source/source world. Is Steven using Nibelheim because it is related to Final Fantasy 7 and you want to make the connection to FF there?
Yeah, how did we summarize it? Is like, it wasn't
It's the same katakana, right?
Yeah,
in the original Roman dialect, it was
It was Aenid Lobby.
Aenid Lobby.
it was anus
So
lobby.
so it's fair to
Can
say
I write that down? Can I write down anus lobby?
Anus lobby.
No,
Dianu Lobby.
I used to
Thank
say
you. Almost time.
I used to say it could, for all we know, it could be NES Lobby, as in like Nintendo Entertainment System.
Ooh,
I think about that a
That
lot.
would have been cool. That would have been fun.
Anyways,
and he would
sorry
have done that.
to answer the question. I think the way to sum it up would be like I didn't write that explicitly intending to tie it to the Final Fantasy VII thing, but I think we can't necessarily rule out that Oda wasn't, inspired or reminded of it or something, and that was why he chose the katakana that he did for it. Even if it is clearly referencing the Norse Niflheim.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy Nibelheim, One Piece Nibelheim, they're both referencing Niflheim, but changed the spelling slightly, and it changed in the same direction.
Right.
When you play
the Germanic thing, I think, is like you see the ring of the Nibelung, which is the opera, right, from Wagner. I think that was that obviously very Germanic in nature.
Which is really, you should only know from Looney Tunes.
Yeah, right.
Kill the rabbit. When you play your NES lobby, it's always sunny. Do we have any Reddit questions, or was that the last disc piece, or was there
That's
one
the last of our disc piece.
Yeah. Do we have Reddit questions, Stephen?
No, we don't. Although I do want to say, since we don't always get to Reddit, I do want to just take the moment to say thank you guys for continuing to post, even though it's not always a sure thing. We do appreciate it. So
on all of our platforms.
Yes.
We could go to Blue Skypea. There's one that is not Nibelheim related. G says that. She says that. It says, do you think Hiruden... Oh, God. This really fits right back into the discussion we were having 5 minutes ago, Alex. Do you think Hiruden being temporarily forgotten when being turned into a toy during Dressrosa will come to play in Loki's flashback brother drama on Elbaf? This is the old steak or salad debate. So please, I refer to you to our 2014 episode, Steak or Salad. And the short answer is absolutely not.
Yeah. And then every other episode that we brought up steak or salad and complained
for like
about
2 years at least.
3 years after that.
To be fair, it's annoying. I did something different this week. I asked for questions on YouTube. We need a name for this segment. We don't have one, but we don't have to come up with a
piece together, so it's PooTube.
PooTube? PooTube?
It's spelled P-O-U.
Oh, okay.
We're pronounced poo, like how people think
YouTube.
Luffy is Luffy.
Or
but we know the real pronunciation.
I see. It's part of the Pouzwazi.
It looks like Po Tube when you spell it out, but it's pronounced PooTube.
Okay, is that related to Anus Lobby? Next.
How did that guy in how did that guy in Arlong Park spell Uranus?
Urectum.
My son does not know it can be pronounced Uranus, and I'm not going to explain that to him. First question. Autumn Greenwood says, hi, OPP. Am I crazy, or is this the first time that Luffy has 100% listened to someone else's backstory? Hopefully for a new crew member. Plus, I love Loki and Ragnir so much. New Straw Hat member 2026. Hey, don't get your hopes up, because remember, we still have those Yamato new crew member 2023 shirts laying around.
Oh no, they've been given to UNICEF to ship to starving children in Africa.
We should have made those just to donate them to UNICEF.
UNICEF panties.
Is this the first time he's listened 100% to someone else?
He listened to the Odin story.
He listened to Odin's story, yeah.
He did listen to Odin's story.
That's character.
Although we got that story later at a different time.
That's
true. We probably got some details different.
I think Luffy has kind of not been that running gag hasn't been quite as present recently.
I think it's worth mentioning that Loki, I mean, I feel like, this is going to get litigated over and over, but Loki did not tell the story of God Valley and what happened with Harold at Marie Joie and stuff like that.
Or even
so that means Luffy does not
Yeah.
Luffy does not know about any of that.
Or even this. Sorry.
That's it. No, that's it.
Oh, okay.
That's all
I was going to say he didn't even tell the stuff with him as a little kid climbing a mountain, obviously. Although he seems to have photographic memory.
It's one of
next
his powers.
Next question. King of Pizza.
His special powers.
1519 says, what are your thoughts on Gabon and Loki joining the fight while some of the Straw Hats are tied up? I'd rather crew members get more time to shine than supporting characters. I generally agree with that. Loki might be a main character, though. And Gabon's fun is the problem. I love Gabon.
I mean, that's just the way that's just the way it goes.
His son is there, like,
yeah.
Dad powers activate, you know?
Well, new characters who are like kind of the main characters of the arc, and then whatever Straw Hats kind of like fit into the story as Oda's writing it.
Well,
can also do some fights.
I think that Oda did a good thing in mortally wounding Gabon because he's handicapped now. Like, he's not going to be at full peak strength while fighting, so he's definitely going to have some help.
He's going to do a badass thing.
Next question.
I will say though, I do miss the days of one-on-one fights, and I grow weary of the rest of the Straw Hats outside of like the monster quadrilogy, whatever we're calling them now, getting like just getting reduced to fighting, you know, the garbos, the garbage people, schmucks, wherever we're calling them.
I think Wano stepped its game up from that. I think that, like, if you want one-on-one fights, Wano kind of does give it to you. Like, not perfectly,
for the most part.
Yeah. So I don't
Frankie
know.
got to fight. Jamie got to fight. Chopper.
Robin.
Chopper had to deal with the Ice Oni. That's right.
Chopper got screwed. Brooke kind of got screwed.
Chopper got a punch in on Queen and did the Ice Oni stuff.
Yeah. And the Ice Oni stuff was stupid,
sort of
though.
did stuff, but then Big Mom finished that fight.
I like the mixing and matching.
Me too.
I like kind of going into an arc.
I actually agree with Sam here. I do like.
If I were to give an unpopular opinion, I feel like if the choice was between more Straw Hat one-on-ones and getting like God Valley in Flashback, I kind of feel like I've seen a lot of Straw Hat one-on-ones before, but I've never seen God Valley. So maybe if we can get them in the last arc or something, that'd be great. Mm-hmm. But I'm not as precious about it as I used to be.
I'm not being precious about it per se, but it sucks that like the only one-on-one fight that Brooke has had is with Zao. Right?
Yeah.
Agreed.
which is very funny. Yeah. It's a funny thing, but like Fishman Island, by and large, the fights I don't think are top shelf.
I'll put it this way: I think from what we heard, Oda didn't realize that Robin hadn't had a one-on-one fight between Wano and Skypiea.
And she's got a great one in Wano, so
it's really good. Mm-hmm. Well, like he, I think, realized, or someone must have told him that. And Greg. And then I assume. And then he drew, and you know, I think Brooke is obviously the pot is stirring with him, so it's possible.
And that feels good after like, you know, like the arcs of like them being separated and like finally being together in one place.
Right. Correct. Only a few more questions. Ice Fisher Tenacity said, neat, I've never done it through YouTube. Neither have we. Should we call it Zotube?
I think we're calling it PooTube. I think we got it.
Yeah, I think that sounds really, you know, elegance to it. Hi OPP. Wow, this chapter has my mind racing real quick. I want to give props to this is read more. I didn't realize this. Okay. I want to give props to Steven for the funny wordplay with Nibelheim. Got a chuckle out of me because of the squirrel thing.
Squirrels like to nibble.
They do.
Oh, interesting.
I think Ken asked that question in the Discord.
Can we change it to Nibble Heim?
Okay, so all right. I'll tell you this. Yeah, here's my bounce back. If Oda had done like a bit of a pun or something in the kanji that made it sound like, oh, he's doing a gag, then I probably would have been like, oh, well, what if then I would be looking for something, and maybe I would have landed on that, and then I would have spelled it Nibble Heim. But no, that was not, and I don't think that was necessary.
Take credit.
But look, if that's your headcanon of like, oh yeah, that's definitely a squirrel joke, like you can run with that. That's fine.
It's
I give you.
It's
I give you
And
my
he's
blessing.
pretending right now they didn't do it on purpose so that to be humble.
I'm always humble.
Okay.
I'm the
Emu's
humblest
comment.
motherfucker out there.
This continues. Emu's comment about the D is very intriguing. After Ida died with a smile on her face, I like to believe her full name was Frost D. Ida. Am I missing? Is that
She's a frost giant.
Frost Dita? Frost Dita? Is that
'Cause
the
look-
name of
'cause-
that artist?
Icy Wiener.
D.
But
Laney?
she was like poisoned, right? She wasn't frosted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was.
Is poison.
Since she was born on Samuwani Island, which loosely means not cold, there you go. A place she didn't belong, left, and never returned.
Oh,
And of
right.
course, there's Marvel's influence of Loki as a frost giant. But now, after this chapter, I hope both Harold and Ida carried the will of D. Maybe Harold's great-great-grandfather was one of Joy Boy's friends. You know what? Sure. Like, I'm not saying that to be like looking down on the question, but I could totally see that.
Knowing how Oda likes to name things, that's
Yeah.
probably true. And his name was Berold.
Yeah, because
Daryl.
the
Daryl.
people pass the trivia along of like, oh, all the D's all die smiling, but like every character dies smiling. It's like like that's what they do in One Piece.
Even okay,
Did Absalom die smiling? I wonder.
we would
Oh,
never
we'll
know
never
he
know.
was invisible.
That's why they didn't show it to us because they
he was
couldn't.
invisible.
They all die smiling.
It
That's
would be
interesting.
it would be too sad to watch somebody dying with a crown.
See, that's interesting though. Like it's always been talked about the D means like half moon or whatever, but if it means a smile,
I thought about that too. Like
that's kind of interesting because
yeah, like
Luffy's,
Luffy's
smile
smile is
always
like
looks
that,
like
yep.
a D. Yeah,
Mm.
like D's nuts.
And yet,
Am I right?
there it is. You came back. You proved your worth here. 2 more questions. Sydney Williams says, I have a feeling that Boa Hancock will show up either near the end of Elbath or start of the next arc in the manga, and hopefully very soon before the anime adaptation. This person wants to see Boa Hancock, and I'm not saying no to that. Last one. That's my
Sorry,
rating.
sorry. That was very Larry King of you.
Sydney Williams from YouTube, you're on the air.
what other
Carl-
names are on the dartboard that they threw at?
Photo Carl as the last question. This only makes the pause between the next episode and this one short. Oh, because I said that we were a day late this week, which I apologize. But it's a holiday. And also just timing. This worked out this week. Didn't work out for Sunday. So here we are on a Tuesday, and you're listening to the One Piece podcast, which is now ending. So you're probably actually listening to this on a Thursday. Now. So that's that. Why don't we round off the show?
Okay.
This has been episode 902 of the One Piece podcast for January 20th, 2026. Thank you all for coming on the show. Before I go through things that you could check out from the podcast, Steven, where could people find you?
I'm over on Blue Sky at stephenpaul.bsky.social. And you can read, even though One Piece is off next week, you will still be able to read Akane Banashi. And there will be another chapter of Kurumizawa's Folly at some point. And yeah, it's getting even more interesting. There's a lot of twists and turns in that series, so that's been fun to follow. So check those out.
Yeah, I need to catch up. Still have probably like 9 chapters, which is a lot of pages. Sam, where could people find you?
They can find me on Blue Sky at LC Sam.
Alex, where could people find you?
Blue Sky, dude! Exclamation. Also Weeb Simpsons and superartfight.com/Patreon or patreon.com/superartfight. Whatever. We have a Patreon now.
Yes, please support all the good folks at Super Art Fight, including Alex. You can check us out at patreon.com/One Piece Podcast. Support us, get a sticker every month if you subscribe at $12 or more. Or if you subscribe for $5 or more, you get ad-free episodes, extended episodes, alternate art, alternate titles. Joey's sketch already has come in, and as I said at the beginning, it's awesome. It's hilarious. It's fantastic. Please check out Joey Weiser as well. I believe his URL I should know offhand is tragic-planet.com or something like that. Or check Joey Weiser out wherever you get your social media. You could check me out at zachlogan.com on Blue Sky, where I occasionally post, or you could check us out at onepiecepodcast.com on Blue Sky. Instagram, officially done with Twitter. Not that we were really doing much there, but I mean, come on. You could check us out anywhere else, though, that you get your social media or your podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Podcatcher, and the rest. And we don't have a phone number, so there's nothing you could do there. And as we say at the end of every show, fuck ice. And also,
Fuck ice.
Yeah. But does that include the ice power used this week? I forgot. I think.
No, you know which ice we're fucking.
Okay. Don't fuck. No, not like that.
You said it. That's what you said.
We call it freezy power from now.
Yeah,
Freezy
powers.
They're called they're
Blizzaga.
Freezicles.
Yeah.
Freezicles.
The freezy fruit.
Yeah, the sleep-tid, creep-tid, dippity-doo. That's it for the podcast. We'll be back next week, maybe with an SGS. We'll let you know since there's no manga. And we'll be back the following week with chapter 1172. Until then, my name is Zach.
And my name is Alex.
We'll see you next week, everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.